Face reveal! Face reveal!
Nope. Hero, ring, 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 hero, nightmen and daymen, and welcome back to Krown's Magical Moon Cave.
Well, welcome back to Krown's Crypto Cave. No face reveal today, unfortunately. Elsa says she won't be revealing no faces or no titties until they're... Hey, did you know that OnlyFans no longer allows sexually explicit content? So that is why we are creating onlysips.com with our CEO, Elsa69. Anyways, with that said, we'd like to wish you a happy and healthy start to this nice little Friday morning over here from Helsinki, Finland. I'm turning off the... What the fuck? Hey, whoa, the SEC is here. Oh, shit! Krown, sir, we are not here for you. We are here for Scott Barney. Scott Barney's at it again. Holy shit, he's on the loose. You know what? We should call the police on him right now. Take that goddamn shitcoin boy away. We can't be having that around in our midst anymore. It's illegal, sir! Anyways, where was I, man? Holy shit, man. It's been a very early morning over here. Hello, welcome back to Krown's Crypto Cave. I want to wish you a happy and healthy start to this nice Friday morning over here from a very bright and sunny Helsinki, Finland. It's a good day. It's a good day to be around the good old cryptocurrency sphere because you know what? To my great surprise, Up Only TV had Odell Beckham Jr. on their show last night, which is fucking insane. Now, I know that most people, or a good majority of people who are watching the stream right now probably aren't American because it's like the dead of night there right now. However, he's, quite a big deal, which is pretty damn cool to see. You gotta fucking love Kobe and you gotta fucking love Mr. Ledger as well. Those guys are great, and I strongly suggest that you do check out that interview, if not for anything else, just to have a few laughs because it is quite entertaining. Anyways, with that said, let's get into the Krown Chain application over here, which we found at app.krown.net. And what do we see? All sorts of very interesting things. We continue to see the Bitcoin dominance fall. So we identified that this did have a reversal about the midpoint of last week when it did officially create a lower low on the daily specifically, and now we are seeing a bit of an altcoin season, you might even say, especially with the strong ones. I think even Cardano made like new all-time highs, which is rather powerful. By the way, I want to say a massive thank you to, holy shit, all the people liking the video. That is insane. I think that's the fastest we've ever had 100 likes on this video, and I appreciate that. And holy shit, there's no dislikes? What the fuck? What the fuck is this bullshit? This is ridiculous going on over here. Anyways, what do we have going on over here? You are a PP head. Thank you for that, Miss Crypto Cowboy. I appreciate that as well. Fear and Greed Index at a 70 right now, which is still within the greedy zone, but not extremely greedy. And you do expect to see this after Bitcoin, goes for about almost a $20,000 run, more or less. I guess it's about $19,000 from 29 to $48,000 thus far, and continuing to hold all major levels on all higher term timeframes as of this moment in time as well. So with that in mind, let's go into the market data tab, or should we check out the winners list today? Because it is actually a bit of an altcoin time, I suppose. Swiss Borg up 30%, Player up another 23.5%. I believe that one was on the winners list yesterday as well, so that one's certainly having itself a day. Graph, Algorand, Cardano, Phantom, Kusama, Polygon, Sushi Swap, all with double digits or more, looking fucking strong over there. And we got some losers on the other side, but I believe those ones were pretty damn strong earlier within this week, so giving up a little bit of gains. You might even call that a pullback, perhaps even healthy within the midst of this very, 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 very intense rally that we've been experiencing thus far. Anyways, what else do we see over in the market data tab? We still see that global funding rate is still not anything. It's not that it's not even consequential, but when you see the global funding rate still below even parity in this case, which means that some exchanges are probably printing even negative rates, that meaning that you are getting paid to hold your fucking longs that are very likely in profit unless you literally bought the top right now. That is going to be another signal that is kind of indicative that this market probably does have a bit more before a general pullback. I was looking for that perhaps yesterday. However, we did come back later in the day yesterday saying that, hey, this is a bear trap going on right here. Targets up to $47,000 and probably beyond, and that is exactly what we've gotten thus far. And at the end of the day, man, things do change, of course. Open interest, however, has come down a little bit, but still maintaining its own uptrend, which is the most important thing to be aware of right there. And then, of course, we do see the leverage ratio and the exchanges reserves still maintaining their downturn, which is very, 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 very important, as we do expect to see that during your long-term uptrends. You can see very, very clearly over here when we did get a bit of an uptrend right here and right here. That's essentially when Bitcoin did put in a top before a 50 to 60% drop, and altcoins probably getting hammered a little bit more than that. I also want to check out the whale ratio for today as well. Hey, what do you know? Another lower high right there as well, and hash rate bouncing back just a fair bit. And with that in mind, I think it's time to go into the price action charts right now. So let's start it off with CME today, because CME is just, CME really honestly matters the most. And I've certainly been very vocal about this for the past couple of years now. And I did break my own rule yesterday. And so we actually did see a bit of a low, or actually, no, we did not see a lower low on Bitcoin. So no, the rule was not broken. They actually were rather consistent with each other, but CME is showing the signals right now. CME is showing very, very obvious signals right now, and we can see it all here pretty much on the 12-hour time frame, which is rather important and rather powerful for this asset. So first and foremost, what do we have? We have yet again another higher low above all major movement averages trading right now. Hidden bullish divergence has been initiated on 12-hour RSI, a decent enough time frame going into the weekend, and we are now back above the exponential on this and into the bullish controls. And so I look at this as very, very good. This consolidation is resolving relatively soon, and you can see that also in line with the BBWP read down around here, which is going into a bit of an expansive posturing after being all the way down at around 5.3 percentile, that is. So with that in mind, this is very, very likely to be resolved to the upside, and we actually can make a bit of a measure move on this one as well, because I'm sure that people are looking at this as a head and shoulders. I can assure you, or at least I can tell you, if people are calling this a head and shoulders, there's something perhaps that they might be missing in this case. And for anyone who is a pattern trader, you really need to know these fucking things, because I'm not even a pattern trader myself, or at least I don't consider myself one, especially not with head and shoulders. But if someone is calling this a head and shoulders, they, for lack of a better term, do not know what the fuck they're talking about. And I say that with love only because realistically, there is something very, very specific that you need to see with a head and shoulders, and that is that the right shoulder must not go above the left-hand shoulder. A head and shoulders actually has a psychology to it, and essentially the psychology is that there's a loss of momentum to the upside, meaning that you get your first drive, or sorry, you typically get like a drive of bearish divergence on this high versus this high, which we actually did get over here. But the second that you actually make a higher high on your right-hand shoulder above your left-hand shoulder, it can no longer be such. And even on top of that, Bitcoin really had its chance to break down yesterday, which is where I would have been entertaining targets down to about 42 to 43,000 bucks. It did not take that. In fact, we just had a confirmed bear trap, and we did hit the upside targets based on that as well. So with all of that in mind, I do look at this as actually having a more relatable target on the other side. Now, this probably is not going to be happening today, but perhaps coming into next week, depending upon how we close today. But barring any sort of disastrous closure, and when I say disastrous closure, I mean like below 45.5 at this point, you actually can make a measure move on a failed head and shoulders in this case. And what you do is you take what would have been the measure move to the downside, and you can actually just apply it to the right-hand shoulder, which would have been right here, actually, which would have been right there. So this will actually have a technical target pretty much right around about 50,000 bucks. And does Bitcoin, go for a little bit more on top of that over time as well? Perhaps yes. I don't necessarily see many other major things coming in within that region that make me super, concerned for Bitcoin in the short term. And realistically, as I have been saying, if Bitcoin does start to close higher term timeframes, and when I say higher term timeframes, I mean like a daily plus. Realistically, even something higher than that would probably be better. Which by the way, I just completely forgot about this as well. We also have hidden bullish divergence confirmed on daily RSI as well, back into the bullish control zone, looking rather strong right there too. Then we would be looking for a move actually deeper into the $50,000 territory first before a greater pullback. Now, with that in mind, with the advent of yesterday's price action, something very important happened. And what important thing happened? Well, Bitcoin has confirmed its second higher low after the reversal way back on over here in late July. So we have low, we have higher low right here, and then we now have our next higher low right there. So if we go back to the hash ribbons indicator, we actually did get that pretty much right here, it looks like. So I suspect that Bitcoin probably does not come below this level, or at least if it does, that is going to be some major warning signals. And this level is also synonymous with many other things, of course, as Bitcoin does essentially chop around the white 200 symbol right here, which is kind of like a more long-term investor's just general sort of or very, very easy way to kind of see where we are within the overall market. And as long as you're above it, generally good. As long as you're below it, generally bad. And in this case right here, as all major movement efforts start to crawl above that, as Bitcoin essentially puts in a higher low right around that, I do look at this as now a major pivot within this market going onwards and forwards. I'm not saying that Bitcoin can't ever turn back down. Of course, that is always going to be a non-zero probability. No shit. But in this case, we have now a new level to kind of be judging things off of, or at least I do. Perhaps you might agree, perhaps you might not. Fair enough. We can discuss in the comment section below. But more importantly, with the advent of yesterday putting in this higher low right here, that would imply that if Bitcoin does start to come back down below this level, we very likely will see a pretty major retrace. And while there will be bounces along the way, I'd probably be looking ultimately for a move down to the mid to low $30,000 territory before anything, before anything else, major happens, potentially to the upside. But for right now, this is very, very interesting right here. And also on spot price action, it should be known that BBWP on the daily specifically is literally at a 5.95 percentile right now, or actually, 5.95 percentile right now, which is essentially confirming this as one massive consolidation right here, going all the way back to essentially 9th of August, where we're at right now. And we are probably looking for a resolution either later today or early next week. Could we see a leg up over the weekend? Perhaps yes. I typically get a little bit on edge about that, but if it does create a bit of a professional gap in this case, then that would be the next sort of, major bullish thing, if you will, for Bitcoin specifically. So again, I do want to highlight this once again. We actually do have hidden bullish divergence on the daily, which is rather interesting. Even on CME has it as well. So that is good to see confluence between the two. And then if we go over here to our momentum charts, again, keeping in mind that, my main sort of trading, my main sort of trading philosophy is trend first, volatility, and then momentum. And we already got trend. We already got volatility. early throughout that contraction phase as Bitcoin essentially puts in a higher low. Now we're looking for momentum, and what do you know? Bitcoin on the 4-hour time frame will be turning this up as long as above 44,700. You know, nice little buffer zone between where we're at right now and that level. And if we go to the medium and higher term time frame, see where we're at right now as well. Oh, what do you know? 12-hour will actually reject the bearish control zone and turn back up with any sort of a closure above 46,150. Rather interesting. And I think daily is probably, actually, that's going to turn up here as well. 46,500 is the magical number for this one. I'm curious what spot price action is showing for this. Yeah, 47,600 is going to be the magical number for that one. But again, remember, CME is not going to be trading over the weekend. So realistically, we don't really look for the result until like early next week if that is going to follow through, which technically speaking, we have not confirmed just yet. We need to see the closure today above that level, and then yes, it will confirm. And while Stokes above the critical zone right here is typically, you know, a little bit of a warning sign that things are a bit extended, I don't look at it as that way, or at least that's not the way that it operates in my experience. When you're above the critical zone, you kind of like stay within the critical zone. It's not till you come back down below it where rally is typically, you know, going to play out like a greater pullback. So could that happen today? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we'd have to close below that level actually. So it is good confluence to see that right there. But I'm curious if we're also closing a buy daily or 3-day today as well. No, we are not closing a buy daily. We literally just closed one last night. And what do you fucking know? That is a lovely looking dildo right there. 3-day is same thing as well. Actually looks like it closed yesterday as well. Even the 3-day closed on new highs right here. So that is rather powerful, you might say. And then, of course, we got the weekly closing today at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, that is. And that will be remaining with upside momentum as long as we're above 30,700. So I might be going out on a limb here, but I think that that's I think that's rather likely. And also the bi-weekly is also going to cross the upside as well with any sort of a closure above 43,000 bucks. So looking good right there. For Bitcoin coming into next week, again, it's assuming that those assuming that those can be essentially held up. And by the way, just on the bi-weekly while we're here, and also on the weekly as well, Bitcoin is trending above everything on the super guppy right here, which is good on both CME and spot. In fact, even spot looks a little bit better as it's literally getting the signal once again. Now, if we go over here to our trending charts, there's not really much to talk about on trolling bands, although Bitcoin has held the not the 200, but the 20 symbol right here, represented by the white line, which is about to get across between the 9 exponential moving average, which is, you know, generally a good thing. But more importantly, we do see that weekly MACD is going to officially cross the upside at the end of this week on Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern time, assuming that Bitcoin just closes above 45,000 bucks. Where is 45,000 bucks as well? That last daily higher low. Very, very interesting. Also around the 200 simple on the daily as well. Very fucking good shit to see a lot of confluence within that region here too. So with all of that in mind, and by the way, you can get this indicator for free. It's on TradingView. Credit to Mr. Caretaker. I don't know if he's around right now. It's probably a bit of an early morning for him, but that crazy motherfucker, he stays up all goddamn night. We're like opposites. He's night man, I am day man. Anyways, and if you don't know where that reference is from, well, you need to watch some Always Sunny, sirs and zers. It's a great show, and it's actually Elsa's like mind blown by it, and kind of I am too. It's like the most consistently funny show I think I've ever seen in my life. Better than Eastbound and Down, because it only had like 1 or 2 good seasons, you know. Anyways, with that said, you can actually find this indicator for free amongst like a slew of other caretaker indicators for free on TradingView. Just type in caretaker and it'll be the reverse MACD, and then you can track it your very self if you want to. Oh, caretaker is here. Oh, my fucking man. There he is, still hanging on. Yeah, I mean, he's powering through right now. And CME weekly MACD is looking the same as well, a little bit higher, which we will obviously get confirmation on today by closure for CME specifically, and that should greatly influence spot closure on Sunday as well. And that is going to be 45,150 it looks like right now. So with all of that in mind, should we go back on over here and chart out the lower term timeframes for right now? Yeah, sure, why not? I'll just talk to myself through this one. No, sorry, we still have a few more things on the higher term timeframes. I've almost forgotten right here. Buy daily going to be closing tonight. That looks fucking good. Oh, a bullish engulfing dildo. That's definitely bearish. If you can't sense my sarcasm, it's not. Buy daily RSI also getting back in the bullish control zone. And by the way, for what it's worth, the buy daily on Bitcoin spot, I look at it as very, very powerful in comparison to, like, it's kind of like similar to CME on a daily. We also got the Silver Cross a couple closures ago as well, which we called out, I believe, yesterday. And what else do we see? I believe a 3-day close last night as well. Yeah, it did. And, well, you know, just looks decent there, I suppose. 5 days not closing anytime soon, but we do have potentially a bullish engulfing dildo in line as well. So this is also why I do say that if Bitcoin does essentially continue on here, which I think that it will probably next week, It's very unlikely to stop at 50,000 bucks, if not for anything else, just a short-term pullback to put in a higher low, probably on a short-term time frame. Tentatively speaking, maybe around 47 or 48,000 bucks. Of course, we're a little bit too far away from that to get there right now, and I really dislike crystal ball bullshit because that's not real trading. That's not the way to do things, and can get you into a lot of trouble. But more importantly, if we do put in a bullish engulfing dildo right here, I would be looking for Bitcoin to make a leg up into the mid 50,000 bucks first before any sort of a potential pullback. And pullback targets will be we can't really talk about pullback targets until we have the high in. That's also not very wise as well. But let's just say, for the purposes of shits and giggles right now, that Bitcoin did move up and put in a bit of a daily high, somewhere around about 55 or 56,000 bucks, and then comes back down. Where potentially could we see this next higher low? Well, in this case, what I'll be doing is I'll take a nice little Fibonacci retracement in this case. And I'd say anywhere between about the 0.5 and the 618 would be fair game. If things are a lot more bullish than what I consider them to be, then we'd expect to see that at around the 382. Or if things are just ridiculously bullish, then I suppose the 236 in this case, which is 150. So fair enough. A lot of good things potentially coming into the visual view coming into next week, early time next week actually. Also, because it is the 20th of August, it is somewhat applicable to prepare for the end of the month. Oh, and someone just reminded me, full moon coming next week, says Gustavo Saldier. Thank you for reminding me, sir. Oh, that's right. Let's invoke the witches, do your fucking potions, dance around the goddamn pentagrams, and let's see what we got going on our lovely moon charts over here. I believe we got a new moon. Oh, and another one of these Fibonacci extensions actually popping in right here too, which has actually been working really, really well. The last one did get this, precipitated this massive move to the upside, in fact, while the other ones pretty much all got downside moves. Interesting. Anyways, I got to give another credit to Mr. Paranoid for that one. That one's actually been working phenomenally well for months now, going all the way back to March. Not bad when you find something like that. Anyways, we actually do have a bull moon coming in. And for anyone who's new here, I know that talking about moon sounds absolutely fucking ridiculous. Believe me, it sounds ridiculous to myself as well. But look, the results are as they are. I think it's a little bit easier to see on this chart right here. And you can just judge for yourself. Look, this is not my first primary way of doing things, but in line with everything else, it kind of confirms my biases here. So you know what? I'm on the fucking moons. I'm with Marin. I'm riding with Marin, and I want to become a fucking, not even a wizard, I want to be a warlock. That's right. And I was a level 60 warlock in World of Warcraft many years ago. Very powerful warlock, and I used to destroy in the battlegrounds. What? Oh, I played Blades and Sorcery yesterday. It was fucking great. Elsa got disgusted by the things that I was doing in that game. And honestly, I should record it, and people should not watch it because it's just... You're a nerd. Yeah, tell me something that I don't know. You also suck my dick. So anyways, let's see. What else do we have over here as far as this goes? Well, nothing really to update on the 5-day, although it should be known that 5-day BBWP is continuing to expand. Obviously, this has been an ongoing thing, but we are looking at the midst of a bit of a macro move right here. Let's see. Should we go on to Ethereum really quickly? Oh, I should also denote that 12-hour Joule did lose its downside curvature as well, and then more importantly, the 4-hour Joule did precipitate that last drive to the upside. This was also kind of playing into why I got back onto that short video later in the day. I said, look, this is extremely likely to be a bear trap. Probably going to go to 47,000 bucks in this case. Anyways, can we come up with levels right here? Actually, we're pretty much right upon one right now, but that was only relevant for the short-term target. Realistically, it's still this area right here, which Bitcoin has kind of pushed off of thus far. So I'd like to see a daily closure, technically speaking, on new highs, but this is, looking more or less good. And I suppose that I don't really have any realistically bearish things to be looking at for Bitcoin, as long as Bitcoin is riding the higher low structure right here, which it just barely made a higher low again. I think it's easier to see on CME right here. And so we'd expect, if Bitcoin does come back down in the short-term time frames, we'd expect to see a higher low somewhere right around about just below 46,000 bucks. However, I mean, I guess it could come as low as about 45, but you do want to see momentum kind of fall through on this one relatively quickly into early next week. Otherwise, this will start to look a little bit more distributed. But for right now, the ball is in the Bulaw's court. Anyways, there is one other thing that I want to address as well before we get into the comments right now, which is actually very, 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 very important over here. Not for Bitcoin, Bitcoin actually, but for Ethereum, because Ethereum has something really important to be aware of that could be confirmed as soon as 10 days from today. That would not just make me look for a retest of prior all-time highs within the next month or two, but very likely new all-time highs before end of year. And that would be the monthly Trollander bands right here, which Ethereum will actually have a chance to close above with any sort of a closure above 3181 actually by end of month. So again, it's still another 10 days left to trading, right? Or how many days are in August? 31, so 11 days left to trading. So a lot of things can happen. Obviously, that's not really, it's only like what, $40 away from current price action. So it ain't too far-fetched to think that like might not happen, right? But if it were to, then yes, I would be looking for Ethereum to very likely retest prior all-time highs and probably make new all-time highs before end of year, probably even in the next couple months here. You can see the last time that Ethereum was essentially trending above the top side Trollander band was way back on over here on the monthly, started in November 2020, and essentially went on for about half a year, I believe, to May. So November, December, January, February, March, April, May. So about 6 months actually, basically half a year, and going up an incredible amount of percentage points there as well. So looking good. Anyways, King Cosmic says, why no face reveal? Sir, because Elsa says that this channel needs to get 100,000 subscribers before any faces are revealed.
Because I'm a ghost.
Because you're what? Oh, because you're a ghost. There's your CEO of onlysims.com. You're Nightman. You are Nightman. All right. I suppose with that said, we could probably move on into. Oh, I do want to check out Eurodollar just really quickly. This one's for me. I haven't checked it out today. Oh, you piece of shit! Come down, you gigantic piece of shit! You. Oh, this is great, but I think it probably does bounce there. To be fair. Ah, Jesus Christ. Oh well, we should also check out Dixie as well. Hey, this is a weird situation. So, what happened to all the people who are saying if Dixie up, Bitcoin down? Which, hey, I've actually said in the past as well, and I was completely fucking wrong for that. But for all the people talking about Dixie and like Dixie's going up, Bitcoin must go down, and vice versa. When the dollar fails, Bitcoin will go up. Well, Dixie again only measures the dollar's value relative to a basket of other fiat fucking currencies, and in this case right here, it would appear to me these two assets, if fucking anything, which I don't even think that this matters to begin with, are correlated positively, not fucking negatively. By the way, what did we see all the way from October 2020 to January? So a little bit of a pullback right there, but more importantly, from January 2021 all the way to April 2021, Bitcoin went on like a 6x tear, and Dixie rallied off the lows. Not bad. Same thing over here from April to essentially June. What happened to Bitcoin and Dixie? Both went down, and then as of recent times, Dixie actually kind of foreshadowed this rally, if anything, if they are positively correlated. I think correlation is kind of like a phantom. It's like, okay, that's great that you can measure that out, but good luck putting that into an actionable trading plan. I know that there's ways to do it, but Jesus Christ, like, it's just easier to trade the goddamn asset in front of you. But I just thought that was rather interesting, because I know that a lot of people have been making a mountain out of a meme hill right there. And in that case, I would say, if anything, I'll take the other side of that bet where they're actually positively correlated. But again, I don't think it really matters either which way, man. Just trade the goddamn asset in front of you. And for right now, Bitcoin is still doing its thing. Okay, cool. All right. Let's see. All right. I am going to turn on the alerts right now. We can get into some comments, and let's see what else has got keyed up. Oh my God, this is a busy day. Holy shit. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. Krown, sir, we are not here for you. We are here for Scott Barney. Whew. Jesus Christ, man, that was a close one. BK says, sir, it's me, BK. Hello, BK. Luna USD for our daily weekly. Yeah, man, this one's been very, very interesting. One of the more powerful altcoins as of recent times. What does this thing do? Don't know. What is it? What is it? Don't know. Doesn't matter. We do have a bit of a short-term toppy-ish dildo right here, a bit of a long-legged doge dildo at the top of your rally thus far. I would say that if this thing does trade back down below the low of yesterday, 27.38, I would look for a slight pullback first, somewhere down around about $24.5. However, you did ask about the short-term time frame, so let's see if weakness is being showed there, or if this is just a phantom of... Yeah, this is just a phantom is what it looks like to me right here. The 4 hour is still fine. Wouldn't mind a move down to like 27 and 40 cents, but ultimately this one is still trending here, and I don't really have any major issues with it except for a short-term pullback. I do not think that it's going to actually top out exactly right here, but the conditions for it topping out right here are pretty, pretty easy to get. If it does essentially just trade below yesterday's low, I'd be looking for a nice drop down to like 24.5 to 25 bucks, and then very likely, another try up after that. Weekly is going to very likely be closing on new all-time highs, which is not necessarily bearish, and more importantly, this is very likely to at the very worst trade sideways in probably a massive range between that $24.5 area and its current area right now. But I do think that this one's setting up for a more long-term move as well. Anyways, I think we addressed all time frames right there, but this one still very, very good. And like I said, even on the short-term time frames, like the 4-hour, this is not what a top typically looks like. I mean, this is shaping up to be reaccumulation on the extremely short-term time frames. But again, just need to see it hold above yesterday's low. If it can do that, I look at sideways and up still very, very likely into next week. And at that point, I mean, maybe not next week, but perhaps early September, prints new all-time highs. That's very, very impressive chart, sir. Spencer Smith, hello, sir. Bro, 0 dislikes. Yeah, what the fuck is this? Oh, there we go. We got 13 now. All right, not bad, not bad. Anyways. Scott Barney's back. Oh shit. BitF daily. How's the volatility index looking? Those are two separate questions, man. Are you asking about volatility on Bitfarms, or are you asking about volatility like VIX? If you're asking about Bitfarms, I do think it's going to put in a higher low right here on the daily. It's probably going to follow Bitcoin if I had to guess. It just doesn't have the advantage of trading in after market hours, so it doesn't really necessarily follow Bitcoin as much. Again, I am a little bit thrown off that the higher term timeframes and the lower term timeframes show a completely different chart, albeit both of them are putting in a bit of a low structure right here. Hidden bullish divergence off that last low. The second that this thing trades back above about $6, I'd be looking for this one to come back up and pop like 650 to 660-ish region, and very likely continue on with the rally. Maybe not this month, but early September or such. This is still, it looks sloppy as all hell on a weekly, to be fair, but I do like this area right. I don't see any real reason to even be looking for another drive to the downside as long as you're above about 550? Yeah, $5.5. This is looking bouncy and very likely continuation a little bit later though, at a bit of a snail's pace, sir. Anyways, BK says, sir, please Sol USD. We could do Solana. I think we could do a little Solana update. Maybe we even record this one as well. Let's see what it's looking like right here and what time frames you're looking at right there. 4-hour, daily, weekly. All right, you know what? I will record this one. Because why the hell not? And let's see. Okay, so let's start it off right on over here. Okay, here we have Solana, symbol SOL, versus the dollar. This one being requested by Mr. BK, symbol BK. He's looking at the 4-hour, daily, and weekly. Okay, well, first things first. Weekly, absolutely fucking powerful right here. Any sort of a closure, basically above $62.5, and I'll be looking for this one to very likely continue on with the new all-time high party, probably into September. Maybe not necessarily next week, but over the long term, yes, this is going to look like a fresh breakout. And we do see that momentum also just are falling through as well on the higher term time frame, specifically hidden bullish divergence right here, deeply in the bullish control zone. Very, very good. At some point, we'll be getting a pullback, so we can maybe judge the lower term time frames for that. Let's see what the 4 hours looking like right here. Uptrend resumes, and I really have no reason to be looking at even a short term pullback as long as you're above 69.25. We actually do see some signs of reaccumulation right here. We'd expect to see some sort of a ascending triangle sort of variety, in this sort of situation, which is looking rather likely. 4-hour RSI, a little bit sloppy here, but it is an altcoin after all, and I do suspect that this is probably looking like reaccumulation. But that sort of short-term narrative will be destroyed if this thing does trade back down below about $67.5. If that were to happen, I would look for a pullback target somewhere around 59.5 and very likely a bounce there. That does not really do anything, again, for the higher term timeframes like the weekly, and even the daily actually makes this one rather easy here too. I do suspect that you are going to be coming to a short-term top relatively soon. I'm not calling like a macro reversal, just a short-term reversal, but I'd be looking for daily BBWP to get maybe a little bit higher. It's very, very high right now at 97.22 percentile. If this thing actually got to 100 percentile, that'd probably be a good signal that it's time to be looking for a bit of a pullback behavior. But for right now, it's still okay. I just suspect that you're getting very, 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 very close to that pullback. So let's actually go over here and let's see if we could just generate some targets for the upside, just like some areas of interest in this case, because this is a pretty, I guess I already have it. All right, so we did break out of the 1.414 after that little consolidation right there. Good. Next sort of general area of interest would be about 85 to $86. $100, and then above there you got $100 in the cards. But it's again not happening today, not happening tomorrow. Maybe like September or October in that case, as these are more long-term extensions in this case. But this is one of the best charts that we've seen today, certainly, because we've only seen a couple charts today thus far, but still pretty damn good. And even in the short-term time frame, so if this does work out to be an ascending triangle, which will be confirmed with any sort of a 4-hour closure, especially above about 75 and a quarter, then we could have a short-term measure move up to actually that 3-spot extension, which would be $85. And then I'd be cognizant of the BBWP on the daily. Like when that volatility gets to 100 percentile, it can stay there for a little bit of time, but typically it's a pretty damn good signal of at the very least a pullback. So keep that in mind. But Solana looking incredibly strong and very likely to continue with the macro rally, I suspect, looking at that monthly right there. Powerful, sir. Nice one. All right, cool. Anyways, moving on, we got Mr. King Cosmic. Hello, sir. Hello to you as well. SPY 1 hour and daily, red dilly party. Let's see. So we did get the bounce off the area, or sorry, we fulfilled our target and bounced off the area that we looked at yesterday, I believe. Last I checked. Let's just go double check over here. How far did we get down? Like 14.7? Yeah, 14. Oh my God. I almost actually to the dollar. Holy shit. 14.710 and a half. Not bad. Okay, so this one's rather interesting. Here's the thing about, oh, sorry, you're looking at SPY. Jesus Christ. Okay, so that one was 43, I think I said 43.40. This one got to 43.45 and a half. Not bad here as well. So here's the question is basically, are we going to get another one of these bounces off the green 55? You do expect to see a bounce off of the 55 in your general uptrends. Like that's kind of where things really do start to switch around for the macro scale in this case, because we are on a daily. But for right now, you can see, you can see the cracks in this rally, obviously. And I do think that we are setting up for like a 20% correction, probably in October, if I had to guess. Just that seems to be the month of the year, cyclically speaking, a lot of the time, just as a general side. But for right now, I'd probably actually look for this one to bounce first, maybe back up to like 44.40, and then perhaps, put in some sort of distributed pattern over here and trade sideways for a bit before coming, and falling over once again. But for right now, I mean, looking at this, yeah, momentum oscillators are a little bit concerning right here. BBWP being this low, as this one does show a little bit of downside, is a bit concerning as well. Bearish divergence on the daily, but that's already played out, I'd say. Let's go down to the short-term timeframes in this case. Yeah, this is not looking like too hot right there, but there is a pretty obvious range to play as well. So in this case, and let's actually maybe just go down to an hourly as you asked for. In this case, actually hourly is showing more downside than the 4 hour, but I think the 4 hour is easier to chart in this case. So with that in mind, I would be looking at this one to put in its own bear trap alongside what kind of Bitcoin did yesterday as well. If it kind of trades back above 44.05, if that happens, I would look for a bounce back somewhere around about 44.30 to 44.40ish region. And momentum oscillators are kind of a little bit more on that side for the 4 hour specifically. But if we go down to the hourly, it is a bit more shaky here. However, I still do look at this one as, well, I'd still just actually play the ranges here, just because this one actually can fall. If this one does fall further, it's going to fall a lot. That's the problem. But you do have a very obvious way to be looking for downside continuation, and that would just be below 43.75 or so, especially there on a closure, even on like an hourly. If that happens, I'd look for another retest of these lows and maybe another bounce there too. But ultimately, I would be looking for it to fall over into next week. That is, perhaps we play out a correction from there. But for right now, this is a bouncy area for at least for today, and then very likely once we get the once we get the weekly closure, which this one could very well close as a bearish engulfing dildo. And if that does happen, I would be looking for another try to the downside into next week, with targets down somewhere around about 4,300 or so. And I mean, the problem with that is that the weekly would still be in an uptrend at that point. Like that's the fucking world that we're living in right now. I know it looks ridiculous, but fair enough. I mean, it is what it is, sir. It is what it is. Dylan Andween Cat says, you deserve the likes, my friend. Hey, appreciate that, man. Also, my 6-year-old says hi. Hello, 6-year-old. This is definitely a normal interaction on the internet. It's 12 a.m. from Canada. Holy shit. Jesus Christ, man. A crypto zombie in the midst. I love it, man. Who didn't? Oh, the kid didn't. Oh, yeah. Well, he's gonna learn about that at some point. You know what? So get him started young, but just like with pornog or something. Anyways, Chester Adlin says, Zurzims, I'm panicking. Gareth Holloway is saying the SPY is breaking down from a rising wedge and stock dumpiness is starting. Do you see weakness in stocks? I mean, I do see weakness here. Yes. I think we kind of just went over this whole scenario. There are a few other concerning things as well. I mean, we actually will have bearish divergence on the weekly RSI if we do close as a bearish engulfing, which it is currently speaking, and the monthly as well. With again, we still do have like another week of trading left in the trading month. Is technically speaking a bit of a Jesus Christ dildo right there. You might even call it a shooting star or a doji dildo, whatever. They are all signals of indecision and perhaps reversal in this case. In this, could that lead on to a correction here on the monthly? Yeah, I mean, this thing could come back down to $4,000 and it still would not be like, from a monthly perspective, not that problematic. I mean, obviously, if you're trading this, that's a 10% move. That is a correction, and that would be actually probably a much needed correction in this case too. So yeah, I do agree that there is weakness in the stocks, but it's probably going to take some time. So understand how long these sort of situations typically take to play out, because that old saying certainly applies. You might, or even if you're early, you're wrong. Even if you're early, you're wrong. Or the market can stay. The market can stay more. The market can stay irrational longer than you can stay liquid, right? Something like that. It's like you're probably going to be right about that, but I do think that this can be drawn out for like another month, maybe even 2 months before we do see a major 10, maybe even 20% correction, which would probably be good still. And like we see on the monthly, I mean, it would still be an uptrend, as crazy as that sounds, even on the fucking weekly, which is just insanity right now. Farhan, hello sir, BTT USD. This is BitTorrent token. Okay, let's see what this thing's doing. I haven't looked at this one in probably since 2019, actually. Maybe we go to Binance for this one, and what do we got? We got a shitcoin of a chart, but it's a bit of a pump and dump here, but hey, at least it did take out its no, actually, we don't have data for 2017 here, so we don't know if it did or did not. But how's this one doing? Well, the same sort of analysis as Bitcoin essentially applies to this thing, but this one's relatively weak. You can see it's still not above all major moving averages right here, and barely kind of following on that last move to the upside. But hey, as long as Bitcoin remains with some upside posturing, I would expect this thing to kind of follow through as well. If we look at the 4 hour right here, you got a bit of a trading range going on. Basically between the current high of your of this rally, I suppose, and then the current low as well, or around the low at about 0.4 of a cent versus 4.5 of a cent. Anywhere above that last 4 hour high, I would look for this one to make a leg up somewhere around here, which is 4.7 of a cent or so. But this one is a little bit on the relatively weak side, and you did not include a time frame, so I don't necessarily know where to go with this one. But I suspect that this one very likely does fall through to the upside. You probably will see it retest the highs of this rally, and then realistically, if you do see Bitcoin go to 50,000 plus, you're probably going to see this thing back around 5.5, maybe even 0.6 of a cent. But again, a laggard in this market, relatively weak, and if Bitcoin does show any weakness, this thing will come down a lot harder than Bitcoin. So just be aware of that. Again, I don't know what time frame you're going off of right there, but hopefully that was helpful. Captain Crunch says, an Uber driver with kind, trusting eyes told me that TrueFi is going to the moon soon. Oh boy. Can you check 4 hour daily? Okay. I don't think I know this one. TrueFi? Okay. All right. True. Simple true. Okay, great. It's like 2 chains coins. 4 hour and daily. Daily, actually, I mean, this one looks like it already went to the moon, man. From what I can see, it appears to have already gone to the moon, sir. It does hold the daily uptrend here, I suppose, somewhat well. It is a bit of a sloppy coin, but yeah, okay. The 4 hour show is a lot easier. I don't really have anything bearish to say about this thing as long as it's above about 63 cent. That does imply if this thing does start to come back down below 63 cent, I would look for a deeper retracement somewhere back down around about 50 to 52 cent or so. But for right now, this one's essentially showing some signs of reaccumulation right here. I imagine we got some hidden bullish evidence. Yes, we do. And 4 hour RSI is more on the somewhat Bula-ish side, but I'd look for a trade sideways a bit in the short term and then very likely pop back up. It is interesting to see this thing go for a pretty impressive run right here, and I would look at resolution towards the upside with any sort of a closure, or not even a closure, but any sort of a tick above your 18th of August high, or if you go back down to the 4 hour, any sort of a 4 hour delta closure above about 73 cent actually, and I'd be looking for a retest of the prior all-time highs and very likely one more high. But this one is starting to get a bit tired. I mean, you see that BBWP getting into the red zone right there. I don't think this one has too much more. I think it has maybe one more new high perhaps, and then probably does play at a greater pullback. But for right now, sideways is healthy, sideways is good, and that one actually okay. Definitely one of the better altcoins that we've seen today, I suppose. Anyways, we got Leap Flip says, can you check out APPIC? Sure. APIC. bastard! You fucking bastard! I've been trolled once again on the interwebs. And I can't help it any longer. Legend Ali Z, what's up, man? Nike. Okay, yeah, we can look at Nike. I haven't looked at Nike since 2019, actually. No, I've definitely looked at it since then because people have asked for it here. Holy shit, look at that. That target actually pretty much met. Yeah, definitely met. Actually overshot it a little bit there too. Not bad. Anyways, you're looking at 4-hour, daily, weekly. Is it just getting rip? Is it just getting, I don't know what you mean by that. Is it just dying right here? I do think you probably have a little bit of short-term downside to about 161 to 160-ish region, but very likely a bounce there. Other than that, I don't have a strong opinion on this one, mostly because if we do start to see more weakness in traditional markets, this thing very likely will come down with it as well, as will most things, right? But for right now, very short-term, here, see what we have right here. I'd actually be looking for this thing to open up on a bounce, probably back up to 168.5, maybe even 169 or so. Anywhere between there is fair game, but ultimately I would be looking for this one to come down after that, probably somewhere down around 160, and look for a bounce there. It wouldn't be a catastrophe if it actually fails that region coming into early September. You know, it still would be in a weekly uptrend here as long as it's above about 151.5. That would be like the real area that I'd be looking for. But there is a lot of signs that this one does want to come down now. So any sort of a short-term bounce, I do believe will get sold into here, kind of in line with what we see on stock market as well. Or sorry, in the broad market as well. But you can see right here on the weekly BBWP, we got up to about a 97.22%, which is rather, hefty. And then of course, on this current rally as well, we've been tailing off a bit with alongside bearish divergence. So I do expect that this one will come down to that level first, bounce there, and then we get to play the game of, is this a higher low, or are we about to put in a lower high and actually reverse? Right now, it's still technically in an uptrend. So I would, I do think bounce first, judge later, essentially. Probably going to be easier to watch, probably SPY in this case. Anyways, Gemini Athlete MMA says, hey, OTRK, hello. Oh, no, that's a symbol. OTRK, okay. OTRK. This thingy on track. I'm guessing this is fucking wrecked is what it is. Holy shit. Very bad and very shitty. Motherfucker. You bastard. You bastard. You might say that this thing's going down and what? Why? Oh my God, man, it used to trade above $20,000, now trades at $11.68, and I think it might just be going lower as well after a bit of a short-term bounce. This is absolute dog shit, sir. I want to short the bounce, looking for price targets for resistance. I'm seeing $15. Let's see. Depends what time frame you're on. This one's a fresh breakdown right now, man. If this thing bounced back up, yeah, around $15, I'd probably be looking at that as playable. Yeah. Again, this is not financial. I'm not a financial advisor, but this thing's like literally just freshly breaking out. This is a terrible chart. Holy shit. Wow. It's never, what is the saying? It's never too low to short. And it's never too high to buy. Very true words for a trader, not necessarily for an investor, however. Anyways, J3F says, Champions of the Sun. Oh, baby. GRT USD 4-hour daily. Sure, man. Yeah, let's check it out. GRT. Maybe I record this one as well. I think Graph is rather, is rather popular. We will record this one. I think this is a rather easy chart here, actually. Okay, cool. Here we have the graph symbol GRT versus the dollar. This one being requested by Mr. J3F of the community. He's looking at a 4-hour daily, and he says, thank you, Dayman. Thank you, sir. I am Dayman. Anyways, looking at this one right here, we do have a fresh breakout out of the accumulation zone, that being right above about 94 cents, it looks like. And this one is looking good. Volume spike on the breakout. That is always a good sign as well. Daily RSI back in the bullish control zone here too. And I would be looking for a general target somewhere back down around your May breakdown points, which is about 120. Also somewhat in line with the white 200 symbol here as well. Expanding volatility is good alongside trend continuation. So we got trend plus volatility. Do we also have momentum as well? I suspect that we probably do. Let's just go double check it out, or go double check it out. I also can't speak in case you didn't know. Weekly's up, obviously. Daily will be up as long as above 95.75, and 4-hour will be up as long as above 89. So that is a rather good signal. If we go down here to the short-term time frames, this one's actually trending right now, freshly breaking out. There will be pullbacks along the way, obviously, but as long as this thing's above 95 cents, I have no real reason to believe that this is a fake out. Again, volume pouring in on this breakout, which is a really, really good sign. I'd be looking for this one to actually make a leg up over the next week or two to like 120 to 1.25 or so. The only way that I'd start to, invalidate that idea is if this thing came back down below about 94 to 9, let's just say 95 cents. Easier to say right there. But for right now, very, 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 very decent And even the 12-hour is kind of drawing in a bit of a golden cross, perhaps not today, not tomorrow, but maybe like mid-time next week. Also on top of that, 12-hour hidden bullish divergence right here and back into the bullish control zone is rather good. Again, alongside expanding volatility on this time frame as well. And all major moving averages are in a bullish posturing with positive slopes and chasing price action right now. It's typically a good thing. So this one, looks like it gets to join the party. It's certainly relatively weak, to be fair. Most of the strong altcoins are not just like retesting their May highs, but some of them are even making new all-time highs, which is incredibly strong. But this one, I suppose, a little bit on the weaker side, but looks like it gets to join in the rally as well. And just as an aside here, just as like a general thing, when you see something like this, the circles, the half circles, just as an aside, it's kind of sloppy, it's kind of silly, but as an explainer, here's your distribution, here's your accumulation. You want to see those sort of like rounded tops and rounded bottoms, just as a general sign. So this is a really good sign of accumulation right here. And your big break, of course, coming in right above that 3/4 mark. Lovely, very fucking nice, and good one for the graph. So hopefully that was helpful, sir. Nice one. All right, cool. Go Lucky says, emergency, sir. Oh, Jesus Christ. We have a car dealer on the loose. Apprehends, please. All right, let's check it out. All right, I'm guessing you want to look at Cardano over here, which has literally new all-time highs. Holy shit. Powerful Cardano. Holy fuck. Did I do a video on this one yesterday or not? I don't know if I did, but there's your new all-time highs right there. Alrighty, you know what? We can record this one as well. We have a Cardano on the loose, symbol C. No, it's not CAR. It's Cardano's ADA versus the dollar right here. This one will be requested by Go Lucky. No time frames given, but I suspect that we can just talk about the obvious right here. New all-time highs typically begets new all-time highs until acted upon by an outside force. But a lot of good things going on here for general continuation over the next couple of weeks, probably into September for new all-time highs. On top of that, we do see weekly hidden bullish evidence right here, back in the bullish control zone for weekly RSI. Volatility expanding on the weekly as well, back above 50 percentile and posture to the upside. Good. Daily is just straight continuation. I mean, there's going to be pullbacks along the way, obviously, but even as it is right now, at some point this will put in a little bit of bearish divergence, but this is not anything resembling a local high, at least yet. 4 hours just continuation. I mean, 4-hour RSI is obvious continuation right here. So I would be looking for this one to stab a little bit higher first before any sort of a general pullback. We could maybe get short-term targets based off of this. We are right at the 2-spot extension. That's usually not a big one. The big ones are the 414 and the 618 in this case, and that's about 265 to 270. Don't necessarily think that it's going to happen today, but perhaps over the next couple weeks here. Looking at our trending charts as well, I do think it's relevant to be looking at this one perhaps from a Troll band perspective. And what do you know, the daily is going to have a chance to close above the topside Troll band today, which if that does happen, I would look for this one to continue to those next targets over the next week or two. And that will be confirmed with the closure today above 255. It looks like short-term timeframes I imagine are already above there. So we are trending even on the 4 hours long as above 245, 246. Looking good right there, man. And again, volume pouring in on this next breakout. It's a good sign. Very, very good sign. And the weekly is also going to have a chance to do the same thing, closing on new all-time highs with any sort of a closure above 230 or so. So if that happens on Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern time, I would look for those next set of targets gets hit perhaps in the next week, maybe 2 weeks, and probably even continue on top of that because the monthly is even better, and the monthly is literally trending above the top side Troll band as well. The last time we saw something like this was back in November all the way through basically May 2021, and that was quite the move, you might say. A total of 1,500%. I'm not saying that that's going to happen again, but just give a general idea of the historical context of that. Rather interesting. I don't have anything bearish to say about this on the daily, as long as it's especially above $2.10. This is one of the best charts we've seen today by far. Very, 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 very impressive. Usually making new all-time highs is not bearish by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, even 4-hour BBWP is technically not at 100 percentile right now, but it is very fucking close, I will say. Daily, certainly not around there just yet, and I'd really like to see that get into the 90s plus before I start looking for short-term highs. So this one, very, very good, very likely to make new all-time highs. Would like to see those next set of confirmations happen, but nice, very good start for that for that next new all-time high breakout. Valentin Dugen says, Harry, hello, I am Harry. I interpret bearish divergence on the one-day RSI. Wrong? Yes, you are wrong. The reason why is because we do not have a confirmed local high. For the love of fucking God, oh my lord, I cannot handle myself any longer. Look, if you're talking about divergences on the RSI oscillator, understand that the RSI oscillator only operates on closures, and you can only ever, by the way, this can only ever be done, in case I wasn't clear, ever, when you have a confirmed local high or local low. If you do not do that, then guess what? You are going to interpret bearish divergence on every fucking drive to the upside. That is continuation. By the way, this can't even be bearish divergence to begin with, because guess what? We're not even making new highs on this rally. And by definition, you can only have bearish divergence when you have new highs. You know, that's a whole point of divergence. When you have this high right here versus this high right here, we actually did have bearish divergence, and that got confirmed with this delta right here, and you get your target down to the 21 right there. That is what it should look like. In this case right here, is this a local high? It could be if we maybe close something like this and then tomorrow come back down below today's low, but that's first off, well and far away from happening, and second off, I just generally don't think that that's going to happen right here, but it could, and that's what it'd have to look like if it were, and then you could probably have some nice targets to the downside. But you're not like, you need to, there's just a lot of things wrong with that statement, man. Again, I say this with love. I'm just judging an idea, not a person here, obviously. But yeah, man, you literally cannot even have bearish divergence without making a new high to begin with. And in this case, you don't even have that right now on your current rally. Okay, cool. James Namelin says, sirs, hello, sirs. Completely agree about Sunny and Philly. Yeah, man, it's great. Eastbound and Down, and also love The Simpsons. Man, what? I guess I never really got into The Simpsons. Like, I don't know. I remember watching a few shows when I was like in my, I don't know, maybe early teens or something, but I don't know. I never really got into that one. Neither was Seinfeld either. It's like, it just looks boring to me. It looks fucking boring. I mean, yeah, I really haven't seen too many episodes or anything like that. I think it's kind of like just one of those time pieces. But if a show has canned laughs, like, I can't watch it. I can't watch those shows with canned laughs. Like, How I Met Your Mother is the most unfunny thing I've ever seen in my life ever. Like, it's so unfunny that it's funny. It's like, they just say a one word that no one would ever fucking laugh at ever, and then they play the goddamn laugh track, and it's like, people are so stupid that they're like, oh, there's other people laughing, maybe I should laugh too. Maybe it's okay to laugh right now. Maybe it's okay to laugh, bro. Yeah. Oh, it's cool. Everyone else is doing it. I'm a laugher too, bro. It's like, what the fuck? Do they even make shows like that anymore? And also 2.5 Men, like, that was so unfunny. It's so fucking unfunny. Like, what the hell? What the fuck was that shit? The Nightman cometh, sir. Elsa would be perfect woman for a Taliban. Yes, she would be the perfect fifth wife for a Taliban. Holy shit, man. Yeah. In a more sincere tone, though, like, Jesus Christ, man, I do feel quite. What's the right word? Quite. What's the fucking? What's the word? Are you awful? I mean, it's a funny statement, yes, but it's also like, I feel a lot of compassion for the people of Afghanistan. I mean, like, Jesus Christ, like, oh man, that is just a shitty situation. That is a fucking shitty situation. Like, Jesus Christ, man. Oh my God, it's like, anything that can go wrong will go wrong. You got it. But there is something that could potentially be good that comes out of that, because you know how, like, all the people in Afghanistan who are, you know, kind of clamoring for, I suppose, help from, I suppose, the Western world, it kind of shines a mirror back on of the people who I think are a little bit on the ungrateful side, or maybe just unaware side in the Western world, who don't know, like, look, things aren't fucking perfect in the Western world, but they're a hell of a lot better than other places. And look, like, we're moving towards something better. And it's like, Jesus Christ, man, you're so goddamn blessed and lucky. You won the genetic lottery by just being born into a Western world country where you don't have to worry about masked men in ninja outfits trying to shoot you with their AK-47s because you walked in the street without, like, a male partner or something. It's just like, gets me really riled up. Like, women's rights or what, you know. Anyways, Nicholas, hi, Mr. Beautiful. How you doing, man? I hope you're doing great as well, man. Can you check out Polkadot? Yeah. Polkadot, yeah, man. Just one at a time though, because we only have limited time, and there's a lot of people today, and things are rather busy. And I hope that that's said with respect. But yeah, Dot over here, we can actually record this one. This one's rather what's it called? popular. All right, we got symbol DOT symbolizing polka dot. Polka dot versus the dollar right here, requested by Mr. Nicholas, just Nicholas, and he's looking at a daily and weekly. So first thing that stands out about the daily, this one is a little bit of a laggard in this market. It has not popped back above its May highs, which is not a death sentence. I mean, obviously it's not a death sentence, but it's basically kind of reliant on the overall market strength, whereas several other altcoins that are relatively strong are making new all-time highs, or at the very least, reapproaching their prior highs, which is a very good sign. Nevertheless, though, as long as Bitcoin essentially, remains with upside posturing here, which I believe that it is, you can expect that these things probably do fall through as well. Next, obvious resistance is going to be this white 200 simple moving average right here, which is also essentially your June highs. And if you can start to close daily dildos above there, you will inevitably be getting a golden cross. Not today, not tomorrow, but probably maybe like end of next week if that starts to happen between the green 55 and the purple 200 exponential averages right there. Daily RSI is more or less good. However, this one is certainly not the most impressive altcoin today. Daily BBWP starting to expand alongside trend continuation, which is good. And I do believe that this one will very likely make a leg up somewhere around about $30 and then look for a little bit more of a sideways consolidation. Short-term timeframes are continuation, and I don't really have anything bearish to say about this as long as above $23.5 below there. I would look for greater retracements back down to 20. I don't think that's what's happening here, but that would be my criteria for that. Weekly, kind of unhelpful because there's not too much there's not too much history here. But generally speaking, $30 would be the next area of interest. If you can start to close some higher term timeframes above there, you can probably extend targets a fair bit more. Some very likely back around actually your $38 to $40 region. But for right now, gonna really be relying on strength in Bitcoin in the broad market here. I'm curious what it looks like from a momentum oscillator perspective, just to see what it's on like the daily and weekly. And we're on a 4 hour, so that's not too helpful. Yeah, daily is already way up there, man, which is not the best sign. Weekly obviously coming in from a very, very low level, so the long term probably is good. You got a bit of an inverted head and shoulders accumulation pattern down here, which is good as well. So long term, if that does play out, which will be confirmed with any sort of a closure on this week, actually above $26.5, which is pretty much out right now, actually a little bit above there right now, which is good. Then it will have a natural target, I imagine, probably somewhere around the prior highs. I'm just gonna do a bad drawing of this one. No, not necessarily. About $38 to $39 is where it would be, but decent enough. And there you have it on dot. Hopefully that was helpful, sir. Okay, we got Henry Weinecker. Hello, sir. Hey, what's up, man? Can you share your views on TEL USD? There's another popular one, I believe, as well, or is it? So maybe I'll record this one. By the way, I really appreciate the feedback on the altcoin singular videos, because they're very easy for me to just shoot out, especially if it's relevant to people. Yeah, this one's fucking good, so we'll record this one as well. We have Telcoin here, symbol TEL, requested by Henry Weinecker, looking at the 4 hour and daily. First thing that stands out about the daily is that unlike most altcoins, this one is already making new all-time highs. We have a lot of history here going back to 2018 as well. This is fucking good, actually. Very impressive for an altcoin, especially. One of the better charts we've seen today, but consolidating right now, which it is consolidating in a higher low fashion. Weekly is obviously bullish here long term, and daily, I really have nothing bearish to say about this thing as long as it's above about, what is this, 1.7 cent. Now, if this thing were to come back down and especially close a daily dildo below 1.7 cent, I would look for a retest, or I would look for a reversal, basically, all the way back down, somewhere right around about 1 cent even. But for right now, short-term timeframes and higher-term timeframes are actually in alignment with each other, looking pretty damn good. 4 hour, I'd be looking for it to pop back up somewhere around 2 cent or so short-term. Daily, if it can start to close above 2 cent, I would extend targets all the way up to about 2.5 cent, and very likely the weekly takes over at that point. And you can start to look for retests of 3 cent and perhaps beyond, as I mean, this is a very mature consolidation right here. Let's see what daily BBWP is looking like. Yes, this is what we expect to see on a consolidation in this format. A healthy consolidation, as we do see this contract all the way through, essentially confirming some higher lows alongside that. So I do like this, but I don't think it's ready just yet. I do think this one's going to take some time if it is going to continue on, and probably strengthen Bitcoin will help this one out as well. But that would be what I'd be looking at right there, and hopefully that was helpful, sir. There you go. Nice one. All right, gently caress the likes and tickle the little bell bottom right there, says Mr. Caretaker. Appreciate that, man. How many Simpsons? Oh, there he is. Hey, what's up? What's up, Derek M? Krown is a devil worshiper. It's true. I worship the moons. I don't know if that's devil stuff. Get your fucking pentagrams out, sir. How many Simpsons predictions happen in real life? That is actually how many Q predictions happened in real life? What? How many people have purchased hookers on vacations, and is it all right? Yeah, sure, it's all right. It's all right at any time. There's nothing wrong with there's nothing wrong with having a transactional sexual relationship, man. Anyways, oh, Tony Antoine, looking at HTR daily on KuCoin, Juicy J, my fucking man. HTR, what do we have over here? I guess we go versus dollar in this case. Hathor, all right. Sounds like a Marvel coin or something. I don't know what to make of this, but it's actually pretty damn good right here, breaking out as well. Short-term time frame is probably back up to like 92, 93 cents or so. Be looking for a bit of a pullback right there, but you're looking at a daily. Oh, sorry, I'm on a daily. Yeah, this is good. 4 hours continuation. Nothing really bearish about this thing as long as above 72.5 cent weekly. Decent as well. I'd be looking somewhere probably around $1 overall. I don't know if you're that long term on this one, but this one looks generally fine. You know, kind of short term going right there. All right, Scott Barney's just being rude now. Jesus Christ. Chiroman says, last time I harassed you with this in a while, but oh motherfucker. Cards versus wrapped Ethereum on TradingView, 4 hour daily. Cards with an S. Okay, so this is so this one is on TradingView. Okay, this one is on TradingView. All right, just to double check, because I know the prior ones were not on TradingView, but he said this one specifically is on TradingView. This one's actually decent. Daily right here, I'd be looking for trend continuation. Just got a silver cross on a higher low structure, consolidating at the perfect level right there. I'd be looking for this one to make a leg up to, what is this, 1.1, or sorry, no, this is versus Ethereum, so 0.117 butyrols, and probably continues on more long term towards 0.16 region. What the fuck is the denominating currency here? Yeah, not much history on this thing, but you know, it does look decent on the daily right now. Nothing really bearish on this thing, especially as long as you're above 0.855 or so. It's just continuation right here, man. Looking decent. Not the most obvious chart, but you know, you have to kind of interpret market analysis or implement market analysis into altcoin analysis, and in this case, this one, you know, looking pretty damn good. Speaking of looking good, we should go look at my testnet account actually as well. I forgot to check out on this one. Hey, not bad. Back up to 27 bitcoins. We are rocking 1.5 Bitcoin profit on that $33,000 long, and options are working rather well with a cumulative profit of, I don't know, where even are we right now? 4 Bitcoin? Not bad. I'll take it. Not bad. All right, cool. Anyways, let's get back into it over here. Mr. Phi says, Zer, NZD versus US dollar. Okay, we got some Forex. Yeah, let's look at some Forex over here, man. I love Forex. Wow, New Zealand dollar getting wrecked. It looks like. I think I heard New Zealand is like initiating another major lockdown. That is just insanity, man. I heard a really, honestly, like terrible story. This thing's coming down. This thing is absolutely fucking wrecked. I wouldn't be surprised to see this. This is another macro lower high right here. Over the next few months, 66 cent. Over the next like year or two, 61.5 cent. Man. Yeah, weekly, monthly. When bounce, I mean, it probably bounces here at around 676 region, but I do not confuse bounce with anything resembling a reversal. This thing is heavily fucking bearish and looking absolutely terrible, like very fucking bad, very bad. This is a macro lower high, and this is like a serious thing in a series of macro lower highs and lower lows. This thing's never reversed on, you know, on the monthly specifically. If we go to a quarterly, same shit. Yeah, I'd be looking for like a decent bounce at around 66.75. But after that, again, I'd be looking for that bounce to get sold into. Even hidden bearish evidence on a quarterly chart, I mean, that's that's not good, man. That's not good. Death cross on the daily about to happen too. I'm gonna take a sip of this water while you marinate on those thoughts, my New Zealand friends. Oh man, that AUG was good. I love how Cristiano Ronaldo destroyed what was it, Cokes or Pepsi stock just by saying water. Like literally just said water, and they lost like billions of dollars in value. It's not that I even hate Coke or Pepsi. I mean, that's great, but water's the best thing. It's the best fucking thing. Anyways, Mr. T. Hello, Mr. T. Whoa, hey. I get your profile picture now. Oh, okay, there we go. SLP USD. Okay, Smooth Love Potion, oh dear lord, is only for those large sleeve of wizards. Okay, SLP, is this a thing? It's a thing. Okay, it's a thing, I guess. Probably go to KuCoin for this one. Maybe not. Go to Binance. Binance usually has the best shit coins there. Okay, definitely not the best altcoin chart today. This thing is, for what it's worth, a pump and dump thus far. But are we getting ready for a bit of a short-term pumpy? Or what time frames are you on? Oh, you actually don't have time frames here. Look, I mean, this thing's still downtrending on even a 4-hour, and it's about to initiate hidden bearish divergence right there. If it closes here or lower by the next hour and 45 minutes, I'd be looking for a retest of lows, maybe even new lows, that being 1550 or so. I mean, even if this thing does turn up, it's obviously relatively weak in comparison to just about anything else in this market. This thing is not participating in any of the upside rallies, like, at all. Heavily bearish as long as you're below 21 cent or so. This is very bad. Probably one of the worst charts we've seen today, actually. That is in cryptocurrency land. We saw one of those stocks that was pretty damn bad too. But other than that, man, what could I say? Anything resembling Hopium on this? Hopium would be back above 21 cent. I'd actually get quite bullish in this one, looking for, I mean, bullish is the wrong term. I'd be looking for another pump phase in this one. This is an obvious pump and dump here, but what is this called again? Smooth Love Potion. Smooth Love Potion. What does it do? I'm interested. Lime says, "Hi Krown, how do you use your trending chart?" So my trending chart, I mean, you could say that I actually have a couple of trending charts. So moving averages, I always kind of get catch trend. Obviously, if you just want to look at line charts, that's gonna be a great way as well. But when it comes to Bollinger Bands, I basically look at them as when you see when you see an asset that's kind of experiencing expanding volatility, and you're trending above the top side Bollinger Band, which is essentially the second standard deviation going on right there, you expect to see more of that. It's for Axie Infinity. Okay, so it's like a thing. It's a payment token. Okay. Interesting. All right. So you can use that in the game or something. Interesting. So they have like a whole economy going on with cryptocurrency. That is. I mean, I guess I'm obviously a gamer, and I imagine a lot of people here as well. You can definitely see that this like NFT stuff and cryptocurrencies being integrated into gaming, like that will be coming in the future. I don't know if it's necessarily ready just yet at scale, but you can definitely see how that would be attractive. You can definitely get that. Anyways, yes, as far as the trending charts go, I mean, you're basically looking at expanding volatility plus essentially trending in that motion as well. You also, you're naturally going to see movement averages in the same direction as well, but that's really not more complicated than that. I do have a video on the Bollinger Bands actually, specifically, or do I have one on the channel, or do I just have it in the program? I think I have one on the channel as well, representing Caretaker's reverse function of that, which he, by the way, has a reverse function for this, but I typically don't use it on this one just because, well, we actually haven't been training above the top side Bollinger Band for a little bit of time here. Okay. Bob Samarsdick says, "I need Matic to moon." I'm pretty sure it's on the moon already. Let's see, 151. Look, it is trending to the upside here, obviously. I mean, it's bullish as long as you're above 136, and this one's very likely to continue from this region. What is a moon to you, man? I don't want to sell you fucking hopium because this thing's already on the moon as far as I'm concerned. I mean, Jesus Christ, man. Like, look, it's it went ICO all the way down here, and now it's gone up about 10,000%. You might say that's on the moon, man. I'd say that's on the moon, just for perspective, right there. But do I think that this thing's going to retest prior highs in this case? Probably yes. Does it happen today? No. Does it happen tomorrow? Also no. Does it happen maybe in the next month or two? It depends whatever Bitcoin does, but probably yes. This is a pretty damn good consolidation right here. Probably does initiate targets higher on a break of 190, but I wouldn't be looking for any more moon mode action until that condition is met, and then you could probably look at like $5 or so. But that would be a lot more long term, not happening today or tomorrow, again, to be abundantly clear. Cool. Anyways, Spence Smith says, "No matter the coin or option you hodl, I wish you profits my zers and zers." Hey, there we go. That's a nice positive message to start off the day. Fuck yeah, man. There we go. Get some profits in your life. It's good. It's good for you. It's like everyone's fucking rich again because crypto's back on the moon and people are nicer. I think people are nicer right now, at least. KLV on the long term. I like the project and community. Okay. Think long. All right. Let's see. I don't think I'm ever seen this clever. Oh, okay. Maybe Poloniex, perhaps. Not really much to be going off of here long term. Very bad chart here too, all things considered. very much a laggard in this market. Let's see, maybe Bittrex or maybe KuCoin. Yeah, KuCoin has a better chart here, but or at least a more long-term chart. Not that it's better; it's actually less impressive long-term. I mean, this thing's just been in a downtrend, obviously, but it looks like it's going to trade with the rest of the market. But again, it's not the picture of health and fitness. It's not going to be the strong one. Sir, you okay over there? Hey, Logan Davis. Oh, are you talking to Logan? Well, look, I'm talking to one of the people. Jesus Christ, let me talk to him. For the love of God. Okay, first off, let's get off this goddamn thing right here. Look, man, it's definitely relatively weak. If you do like the project and you really believe in the fundamentals, hey, that's great, man. And you know that's a different thing, right? But the strong coins are rallying up over the last like month or so, and this thing's barely participated. It's actually just been continuing with the downtrend. Now, do I think it's going to reverse right here? Probably yes. You are seeing some signals of that, but nothing that would interest me too much. This is a very weak chart right here. You know, I think best it does in the short term to the upside is like 5 cent. But you said very long term, man. I can't even populate a monthly here, and the monthly that I can populate is just terrible. To be fair as well, man. So again, I don't want to sell you hopium. It probably does have some upside here. Maybe you know something fundamentally cool happens, which you probably know better than me about. Other than that, I'm not going to. I can't in good faith say that this is like a good chart. You know, it realistically, until you reverse this one, which is not happening anytime soon, above 5 cents, though, I'd probably look for a rally back up to like 6 or 7. But if you're talking about long term, I don't think I can. I don't think I have a good idea on this one long term. All right, anyways, I want to address this comment right here. Logan Davis says, Mr. Krown, please do an updated Jewel video, please, sir. It actually has been updated as of a month ago, or a month or two ago when we actually added the new features. I don't know if you're on the Krown Chain application, but if you are, that's where all the updated videos are. So make sure you actually are on that one, not on Teachable, because Teachable hasn't been updated in ages for obvious reasons. Alt identifier sucks. Well, if you can't get through the alt identifier, then probably not a good idea to be trading. Sorry, man, I can't help myself right now. But the alt identifier is our first little security measure to keep out to keep out all the fucking weirdos and spam bots as well too, which has actually been working pretty damn well. Okay, cool. All right, let's get on to the next one as well. Let's see. Sushi Yum Yum says Triple D on the 4-hour and daily. Sure, yeah, this is the 3-day printer, right? Yeah, there we go. Down, short term down to 25.80 or so, but this is not bearish. You said 4 hours. Well, yeah, short term a little bit more downside, but I do think this one's getting ready for a bounce relatively soon. I'm not bearish on this thing, especially as long as it's above 24. Yeah, 24 bucks even. Long term though, I don't think it's going to be doing anything like super interesting anytime soon. Just sideways within this range, as it does look like it has a bit of signals of reaccumulation. But basically what you're looking for is something like this, right? And your higher lows come in around the 200 simple in this case. It starts to wedge itself into some sort of reaccumulation formation. That would look very, very good. But as you can see, that wouldn't imply a resolution anytime soon. It also means if this thing does trade back down below 24 bucks, you can probably expect a nice dumbola back down below 20, somewhere around 17.5 overall, maybe even lower over time. But you know, long term, I think that this one does eventually pull through. Just probably going to be trading sideways here for a while. Resolution to the upside, very obviously above about 38 bucks or so. Okay, cool. Mike Appy says Cardano 4-hour and daily. I think we already looked at this one. I'm certain we already looked at this one. I'm probably just getting to this comment a little bit later, but that is the natural pace of things, unfortunately, as I do have to work my way through the comments in the way that they were given. You know, it's always interesting to read some people who think like I'm ignoring them or something. I'm not ignoring you. It's just there's like a lot of people here, and I have to like first prioritize people who are doing the super chats for obvious reasons. I mean, you know, there's limited time, and if someone's actually, you know, putting something forward toward that, then I need to respect that myself. So hopefully that is just understood. But yeah, looking at this right here, man, I'd still be as bullish as I was on it about 10-15 minutes ago. You know, even the 4-hour is just continuing right here. I don't see anything even remotely saying pullback in as long as this thing's above 233. Wait, did I say 233? 232 actually. Daily is obviously bullish. I'd be looking for this one to print new all-time highs into next week actually. Very fucking good chart, man. Very fucking good chart. I mean, one of the best charts, or certainly among the best charts, but maybe even the best chart in cryptocurrency right now. Very powerful, very fucking powerful. I'm just guessing that we got to that comment a little bit later though, but let me know if you actually want to like dial something in specifically. Arjun Jaromi says ICP 4 on daily. Sure. This is the internet computer. That computer. So you couldn't have thought of a better name. we have a computer and it's on the internet. All right, I'm in. I heard the internet's good. Again, definitely not the most strong chart of all time that we've seen today, but going to benefit from strength within the broad market here. I'd like to see this one close above about 7160 before looking for the next leg up. At that point, I probably would be looking for a nice move to about $100 or so. This thing can move here, obviously, but and I understand that there's like a story to go along this one as well. Short-term time frames. You know, do you see a pullback short term to like 64 first before anything else? Perhaps yes, but generally speaking, I'm going to be bullish on this one as long as you're especially above about $62. If you do start to lose $62, I'd look for another retest of 55, and you better hope it holds there because this one is certainly relatively weak, like I did say. But as long as Bitcoin keeps it up, you can probably look at this one as very likely to fall through to the upside, and maybe over the next month or so you see it move up to $100. But just be aware that this one definitely not following as much, and that's usually not a good sign. Okay, what's up? Who's Jason? Oh, Jason Pizzino's here. Holy shit, man, what's up? Dude, we got to get you on either Saturday or Sunday. Cardano Supreme with Parmesan. There you go. It's so exotic sounding, sir. Good to see you, my friend. Good to fucking see you. Holy shit. The man himself is here. Guys, check out Jason Pizzino's channel, by the way. He does very dialed back analysis in the most how do I explain this? What is your statement as soon as you open up the video? Because it's perfect. It's like you don't fucking FOMO people into shit and bullshit like that. He's a very laid back guy. In fact, I did a video with him about a week ago or something, and it was a great conversation. And we'll actually do a video on my channel. Hopefully this weekend is what we're planning for, and we'll get like some actual fundamental explanations as to why some of these charts are looking so goddamn good. As I can only talk about technicals myself. I'm in no way, shape, or form qualified to talk about fundamentals. So there you go, man. Today for the price of Bitcoin, yeah. If as Philson says, today for the price of Bitcoin, Jason Pizzino is literally the opposite of that. You could just literally do a 180 from that, or do a 360 and walk your way out. There you go. Anyways, Justin Young says, apology for the new question. All good, man. Why is CME more important than other charts? Okay, so in the most, in the most important of senses, the reason why CME chart is more important than spot price action chart is because the signals just work out there more often than not. But I suspect that question is probably asking, what is the fundamental reason why CME chart is more accurate with its signals than, for example, spot price action? And the reason why that would be, or at least my best explanation for that would be, is that CME is the most professional exchange to trade Bitcoin on at this exact moment in time. And also CME has a different schedule than your spot markets as well. Spot markets trade 24/7. They don't close. On BitMEX, you never see it go down unless you get the order submission error, which is a feature, not a bug, or at least of the past. Man, you have to be like an old timer in this space now to even understand that fucking reference. Holy shit. Oh man, so many people don't even know who Arthur is anymore. God damn, that is a monstrosity. But of course, on the other side, CME trades more on a professional schedule. It is technically, I guess it's technically 5 days, but it opens up on Sunday, closes on Friday, and there is like an hour of off-market trading as well. And it just, again, the most tangible reason why I believe CME chart matters most is because it just works better. Like if you get a signal on CME that is not present on spot price action, that signal is probably going to work out, and vice versa as well. When I see a signal on spot price action, but I don't see it on CME, like I did earlier this week, I ruined my own rule earlier this week, and it was wrong, and CME was right. And that's very, very consistent. It's not always going to be true, but more than 80% of the time it is true. And that's really, well, all that I care about. Calvin Ting says, thoughts on CSTR? Okay, so this is a Canadian stock, CSTR .V. Okay, I'm guessing you just mean this right here, on TS.V. Chart, please. It's a crypto mining company. I think it's going to run soon. Big Styles back. Would like input on just chart. Okay. I mean, macro does hold the lows, I guess. It's really fucking hammered on. It's really fucking hammered to the downside. In this case, it's probably going to pull through. It looks like the price is very much tethered to Bitcoin, but it acts just as you would expect an altcoin. Here's your big area right here. basically 20.5 cent. Above 20.5 cent, I actually will look for this one to go on a bit of a run towards 30 cent and probably does set it up for a more macro move. But you're going to have to see something like this being led by Bitcoin, because this is just a fucking monstrosity of a chart right here. I mean, this is just god awful is what it is. So, you know, if it does follow to the upside, it looks like it's not going to follow as much. And when Bitcoin turns around, this thing probably just gets absolutely hammered, as well as you did see way back on over here. I mean, this thing didn't even get to join in and participate on the $65,000 high for Bitcoin, which happened in like April, May, right? This thing topped out in February. So I look at that as not the best sign right there. But long term, you know, you got your levels in place. But and the good news is that it actually does make new highs above its prior macro highs. But god damn it, this thing. I mean, there's very little difference between this thing and like a shitcoin, right? But hey, back above this level right here, 20 cent, I would look forward to going a bit of a rip, somewhere around 30 cents or so over the next like month. Anyways, the Boo Franks, hi, I'm new to the channel. Well, hey man, welcome man, good to meet you, sir. I use the MACD and RSI to help me trade. Cool. Can you briefly explain the indicators you use, like the Stoke and the Joule? Stoke is a momentum oscillator, usually getting like short-term ranging action, or at least that's the way that I like looking at it. I also like to look at it in confluence with like, you know, areas on price action as far as structure goes, where momentum can change. So for example, I like to judge Stoke momentum versus like where we are at as far as structure goes, to decide, okay, are we likely to break out here or not, for example. Anyways, you know, in this case, where Bitcoin's kind of reapproaching its prior highs, and we see momentum turning up on, let's say, like a 12 hour, it's going to have a chance to do that, then I look at this as more likely to break in that direction. So maybe I consider playing a breakout, because also your risk is sort of understood on the other side. You know, we need to close above this level right here. The Joule is a completely different beast. Now, the Joule is also somewhat of a momentum oscillator, but also has a volatility component as well. It's more or less for scalping too, but it does get better moves. It does get more like medium term moves, depending upon which time frame you're looking at. You know, basically the Joule is like, it's a lot more streamlined in that way. It's also got an auto fib on it as well, and there's multiple ways to use it. So I don't use all of these things at the same time. So something that I really need to be very vocal about is that while I am using a bunch of different indicators on these streams, understand that I do not use all these indicators in my actual trading. In my actual trading, I only use 3 indicators. I use something for trend. Sometimes I just look at fucking structure, which is easy enough, but you know, if not, I'll just use moving averages. Then I'll use something for volatility. That's going to be the BBWP down here. Very fucking important. And then of course something for momentum, which my preferred one is going to be the Joule, obviously. But I will use more or less RSI, and then mediated by the Stoke to kind of further confirm, you know, depending upon like, or essentially kind of judging if I want to put more risk on this trade or not, if I see both of them in confluence with each other, which often they are. So understand that, you know, for the most part, what I would actually ask you is that why would you use MACD with RSI? Because those are 2 momentum oscillators, basically. Like, you know, I guess it's kind of like the tried and true. I mean, you know, many people do use that, and it can definitely be successful. But you know, when I'm thinking in like trading mode, I want to have different indicators, the minimum amount of indicators to address all the different things that I'm like looking for. So again, that comes down to trend, volatility, and of course momentum. And momentum's like a distant third, by the way. It's mostly trend and volatility is what I'm looking at. Aaron Depp, what's up, man? Please help me stop buying pudgy penguins. Why? But why? They're so cute. I must stop, but I can't. Good morning, good day, goodbye. Thank you for that, man. Just a nice message right there. Well, I hope that you can deal with your pudgy penguin addiction. The best way to deal with addictions is to get a different addiction that's more healthy. But hey, man, who knows? Maybe pudgy penguins are the next big thing. I don't understand or it's not that I don't understand the NFTs. I'm just not the person to ask about that. Go to my man Elio Trades for that. He's balls deep in NFTs right now. Charles G says, or hopefully I'm getting that right. ICX. Oh, wow. Man, you must be from 2017, 2018, because ICX, Icon. Yeah, man, this piece of fucking garbage. Oh, yeah, this is really a piece of garbage right here. Okay, you're looking at a 4-hour daily, weekly. Okay, so first thing that stands off, again, nowhere fucking near its 2018 highs. That is just bad. But it gets to benefit from the broad market strength here, right? And you got a very easy setup on the daily, right? As long as you're above about 120, I would look for this one to follow through with the rest of the market. Tentative targets at about 155 to 160 or so. A breakout above the 200 simple, I'd probably be looking for a bit of a consolidation similar to Bitcoin, and then continue on to your May breakdown levels at around 190. Daily hidden bullish evidence right here, looking decent. Volatility is set to expand, but not there just yet. So what I really want to see is I want to see this thing make a new high plus expansion on volatility. And then, yeah, I'd feel quite comfortable targeting like 150 or 160, and then probably continuation on top of that. Weekly, again, just a very unimpressive chart long term. Certainly relatively weak in this market, and even the 4 hours relatively weak as well. But you do hold your uptrend short term as long as you're above about 115, 116 or so. So I mean, I'd even say like 119 and a half. You know, if you do start to lose 119 and a half, I would look for a bit of a retracement here back down to about 107, maybe even $1 even. But it probably gets fall through with the rest of the market, just not the one that I'd want to be in if the market, you know, turns around. I mean, this chart kind of says it all right there. This is just hot garbage, man. Again, just talking about a chart here, not about a person. You're probably great as a person, but as a chart, fucking sucks. Terrible, bad, very, very bad, very fucking bad chart. Terrible fucking chart. It gets the fucking buzzer chart. Chad Moss says, Sean Colifer here. Hey, what's up, man? I margined 150,000 after watching the Ethereum video earlier. You're the shit. Well, I'm glad that worked out for you, man. But always know your risk. Probably not a good idea to just blindly follow a YouTube video. And please in the future, it's fine if you're going to use my analysis to generate a trade, but you always have to know where's your risk management going to be, where's your entry going to be, and where's your profit taking going to be. And if you can get all three of those, then hey, you got a plan. Maybe you might want to add a few more things on top of that as well, but at the very fucking basis, that would be good, man. Hourly for lick my balls USD, you fucking bastard. How dare you? How fucking dare you? A piece of Reese says, hey Krown, what's up, man? You think the whole run could still be a big trap? There's always a probability of that, right? It's technically going to be available as long as Bitcoin's below its prior all-time high. Yeah, it's always going to be available, right? Just how likely is it at this point? I still think that you could actually have it at this point, but the second that Bitcoin closed a weekly dildo above $50,000, I think already that a bull trap scenario here is greatly diminished by what I explained about a week or two ago in the long-term analysis video titled "The Low Is In" and all my reasonings for that. I don't want to go over them right now because it's going to be like 30 minutes long of just stuff, but above $50,000, especially on a weekly, I think that, the bull trap scenario case at that point would be so small. It's like you're already operating on hopium right now. If you're, in my opinion, if you're like looking for a lower low than our current $29,000 low, so take that as you will. I think that addressed that. Cool. Anyways, you're looking at XRP USD. Okay, yeah, we can look at that one. Where are we at? Where the fuck are we at? Where's my damn XRP ripples? There they are. Found them. Okay, you're looking at a 4 hour and a 4 hour and an hourly. Okay, well, should be known. Weekly's pretty fucking good here. Just saying. Daily also pretty fucking good as well. Very bullish as long as you're above 115. 4 hour. Pretty damn bullish as long as you're above. Yeah. I'd say 115. Hourly. Little bit of sideways consolidation after a nice rally right here. That's to be expected. Wouldn't mind a pullback down to 118, 115 region, but I would like to see a bounce there as well, and then general continuation of the high of this rally. You know how XRP trades. It's rather sloppy, but at the end of the day, when this thing wants to pump, it wants to fucking pump, doesn't it? Looking at the weekly right here, though, man, I do suspect that this one will test around about 145 to 150, maybe over the next couple of weeks here. This is a decent setup here. This is also an uptrend on the weekly as well, and rather, for all that it's worth right now, rather okay. Not relatively strong, not relatively weak, kind of par for the course right now in this market. Byron Scott says, hey, Krown, what's up, man? From Australia. Hey, cool, man. Hopefully you're enjoying life from your prison. Sorry, sir. Sorry. Hopefully things are going well there, sir. Could you please look at long-term outlook for AGIX crypto? Oh, this is formerly AGI. Yeah, I remember this one. Okay. We could look at that, and I think you said long term. Yeah, you said long term. Unfortunately, this chart is only been around for May, so it's going to be difficult to do long term on this. Now, for what it's worth on the daily, this is very fucking good here on the daily. But I understand that there's probably a lot more history than this because it's tethered to AGI. So I don't really have the. Unfortunately, I can't see that, but. Look, this is an accumulation phase right here. You got your higher lows right there. It's a W pattern, which is an accumulation formation, and you're just breaking out right now. I look for a retest on this rally right here of the highs at about 30 cents, and I'd probably be looking for new highs on this as well. We can make a bit of an extension for some more long-term targets. Again, this is not happening today or tomorrow, but perhaps over the next month or two, probably somewhere around 40 cents if the rally does continue. Going to be tethered to whatever Bitcoin does, obviously, but decent, at least for the history that we have right there, which again is not complete because we also know that there's like another 3 years, which I fear that it's got one of those dead heartbeat of a charts. But hey, at least for the short term, decent. Fucking by the dip says a little thank you for my stinky linkies. Hey, not bad. Stay stinky linky, my fucking man. Mid and long term. Yeah, let's look at Link. I should record this one as well. We really haven't looked at Link. In like the last few days here, and I think we could even do a new chart for it as well because all those lines there are just not even relevant for our current price action. All right, cool. Yeah, you know what? Let's do this. Okay. We got good old Link over here. Stinky Linky, as some people know it. Link versus the dollar, being requested by fucking By the Dip, who is very, 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 very proud of his Stinky Link. That's good. He wants to look at medium and long term. And he says been in it since he started harping on it since 2018 June. Man, yeah, it's actually been one of the more interesting charts for me to follow just because I don't trade it myself, but I live vicariously through all the people who bought it down here, which is very, very impressive, man. Very fucking impressive. Anyways, having a pretty damn good bounce back here finally, which is good to see for something that was strong for so long. But at the same time, you got your 200 simple represented by the white moving average right here at $28. That is your obvious resistance right now. And that does imply that if you can start to see closures above there on the daily, not only are you going to inevitably be getting a golden cross between the green 55 and the purple 200 and also confirming this is a higher low, which it already is actually, then I would be looking at targets back up somewhere between about 32 and a quarter to $34 and probably continuation on top of that. We do see momentum oscillators are a little bit more into bullish posturing here, but I need to see a closure above the 200 simple plus expanding volatility, which it is not right now. It's actually still contracting, and I want to see daily RSI get back in the bullish controls. And if that happens, I will look for those targets to get met. Weekly is not very helpful right now, actually. If anything, the weekly is in a bit of a trap situation. And then the 5-day has a very obvious signature right here. Here's the obvious 5-day signature. You'll actually confirm a bullish engulfing dildo with any sort of a trade higher above the last 5-day high, which is $30.83. And that won't just have targets up to that won't just have targets up to like $32 or whatever it was earlier. It's going to have much higher targets towards 36.5 to probably even $40, to be honest with you, and probably going to continue on after that. Again, going to depend on the strength in Bitcoin because this one has kind of lost its pole position long term in this market, at least in my experience, or at least in my opinion, because it used to be so damn good. But to be fair, you do still have a weekly up. Well, not really. Sorry, I apologize on that one. Let's see what the monthly looks like. Monthly, not really giving me too much right here. I'd love to see this one close. Actually, no, we do have something very, very important here. Okay, so you did say long term. In 11 days, we will close the monthly. And if we do close anywhere here or higher above $27, you will confirm hidden bullish divergence on monthly RSI. And that will have targets back up towards about $40 and probably makes new all-time highs a couple months after that as well. This would look like a very, very good setup, but it is more long-term, obviously, and I need to see this area taken out first and foremost. That'd be a very, very good sign that all of those next things are going to follow through with it. By the same token, anywhere below this current daily high or low, which is basically 25 and a quarter, I would get very bearish on this one, looking for a move back down below $20. I don't think that's what's happening right here, but that would be my sort of invalidation point. So there you go. Nice little linkies. I'm actually curious to see what it looks like actually over here as well. I just want to see where it is as far as momentum goes. And let's see what we got on the daily. Daily will be turning up with any sort of a closure above 30 and a quarter. Probably not happening today. 4-hour is up as long as above 24 and a half. Good. And weekly is up as long as above 1460 or so. So decent there as well. And I'm curious where the monthly is. Yeah, 4160 actually for that. So that's probably not happening anytime soon either. But you do see a setup there. It's just it's a little bit of a laggard right now. But if it can start to close back above the 200 simple, I would really look for that golden cross to be playable, and you probably do just generally float back up towards your prior highs over the next couple months. So hopefully that was helpful, sir. And I wish you well with your stinky linkies. Again, living vicariously through you, man. And ENM, welcome to the cave, man. Thank you for becoming a member, sir. Daniel Garcia says, is looking at IWM and Tran divergence for SPY a good way to look for weakness, bearishness in your experience? Yes, and also no. The reason why I say yes is because obviously they're going to play into that. And the general notion is, or kind of the way that I was taught markets from my mentor in traditional markets specifically, is that you look at your big indices like your SPY, NASDAQ, Indus, all that good stuff as kind of like the generals of the market, and sort of like making a corollary between that and the army is you want to see then, like, you know, your next in line, the soldiers follow them, and you can kind of look at IWM, you can look at the Russell 2000, you can look at like the mid caps in transportation and stuff like that, like individual sectors as like the soldiers, and when they start to diverge, that's usually a good sign that the market is weakening. The problem with that ever since like 2008, 2009, however, is that the market in general works in what's called rotations, where basically the way that these smart motherfuckers have figured out how to keep these markets basically just straight up for forever, or at least for the last like 12, 13 years, is that you rotate a sector down while another sector gets rotated up. So you'll naturally see those divergences, which might have like a little bit of weakness and whatnot. You get those pullbacks, but other sectors just actually picking up the strength for it. And so the broad market, the generals, continue to go up and onwards. And it makes it difficult to kind of do that. So I do agree with you, and that will be true when the ultimate top is put in. It's just, when is that, man? I think you still need to trade what's in front of you, but it is a good sign that the market's weakening. It's just how far along are we within that process? That's a much more difficult question to answer, which I think that you can really only look at the like the major indices to kind of judge that. That's just my sort of opinion on that one. Hopefully that was helpful though. Mr. Tasco says, hey, Krown, can you look at Cardano BTC daily, weekly? Sure. We haven't looked at the Bitcoin pairing here. I imagine it's probably doing very well as well. But is it doing as well as the dollar pairing? Do we have new all-time highs here? We do. Well, no, we don't. Actually, no, we don't. But we have continuation. We have a lovely, lovely, lovely weekly uptrend. There we go. That weekly hidden bullish divergence that we spoke about, I think, last week is playing out rather fabulously in this case. Looking very, very good right there. Daily's continuation. There's your higher low at 43.50. I believe we hit our 5,000 Satoshi target already. So where is the next set of them? I guess I don't have it on this chart here. Oh, we can just do something like this. How about that? This should be easy enough. We are just brushing against the one spot 272. Typically doesn't stop there. I want to see a move to the 1414 before it stops, and then come down to the 1272. But long term, I would be looking at this one to continue on somewhere around 65 to 7,000 Satoshis. That is long term, however. And does that align with anything else? Yeah, it kind of aligns with like your last weekly closing high, actually. Generally, this is a really fucking good chart, man. Look, Cardano, this fucking derp of a coin is, it's got one of the best charts in cryptocurrency land. It's going to have a chance to close new monthly all-time highs as well. Monthly RSIs, for the information that we do have, is very good. This is extremely likely to make new all-time highs probably before end of year as well. Just a very, 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 very impressive chart. Again, nothing bearish on this thing as long as you're above 43.50. You come back down below there, I'd look for a retracement all the way down to 3,200, but this thing's looking good. Looking very, very good. Short-term timeframes are even trending right now too. Wouldn't mind a pullback. Oh no, I'm on Bitcoin. Sorry. Different chart right there, but I don't suspect that you were looking at the short-term timeframes. You were looking at daily, weekly. Yeah, very good. Very fucking good. Yeah, we've done, or have we done Ethereum? I don't know. Anyways, okay, cool. Let's see. Cole Bashor says, Atom USD, daily, weekly. Fine, sir. I have enough white guilt. Leave me alone. No problem, sir. No problem. How dare you? How dare you even? It's not okay to be white, you know? It's not okay. change your face, but don't do blackface, because that's also not okay. No, you can't do that. Anyways, daily, weekly, pretty good here. Actually, an example of a little bit of a stronger altcoin, about to get a daily golden cross, all above the 200 simple. You kind of see that same setup present on Link, right? So this is kind of what you expect to see on some like Link volume pouring in on the breakout. I look for this one to give another reapproach to like 23.25 to 24.5. Very likely continues on with the rally, and nothing really bearish about this thing as long as you're above $17. What time frames are you looking at there? Daily and weekly. Okay, so you're not looking at lower. It's going to be ebbs and flows, obviously, but next sort of weekly area of interest is going to be all the way up to 24 and a quarter. Weekly RSI, fucking good right there. Weekly Jewel, good. This one, long-term, decent. So pretty good. Yeah, pretty good. Not bad, sir. Not bad. Symbol MS. Hello, sir. Good morning, Krown and Elsa. Have a great day. That's it? Thank you. Thanks, man. I hope you have a great day as well. Oh my God, there are so many comments right now. Okay, all right. Hey, thank you for that, all stand. Appreciate that. Let's see. Mr. Almasari says, appreciate that. Hey, man, thank you for that. SPRT. Okay, is this Sprint? Sprint. No, it's support.com. Okay. All right, let's see what we got here. Daily's good. Daily's in an uptrend. Weekly's breaking out as well. So where's our next area of interest? Probably somewhere around about 11.60 to $12. Terrible long-term chart, but this one is having a change of behavior here. So I suspect that this rally is a little bit more follow through on top of it. It's pretty extended here too. So a pullback will occur, but I think that this one continues first before a pullback. For short-term time frame, still healthy. Let's put in a bit of a sunny triangle here. So reaccumulation after the major breakout. This one's actually continuation right now before a pullback. I'll be looking for a move somewhere around like 13 to $14 actually before a general pullback. What does a monthly look like? Yeah, right at the 200s right here. So I do think it will spend a bit of time in this region, but it probably gets one more try to the upside first. I'd probably look for that to get rejected, trade sideways. If it can trade sideways above those, maybe long term it actually does get the macro reversal. I don't know how much I trust this chart though, man. Not great. It's not great. Crypto Jesus, hey man, hello sir, or non-binary non-birther. That's right, that's me. This is too short for derails, but your tough love on shitcoins and entry exits helped me out a bunch. Man, I'm so glad to hear that, Jesus. I'm also glad that we're good on that we're still on good terms because I'm trying to get into heaven, sir. Your weekly V game says Bitcoin's still a bear trap. I don't believe it is. I believe I've been pretty damn consistent with saying that it's very unlikely. Is Bitcoin a bear trap? Oh, sorry, I thought you meant bull trap. Well, what do you mean? Is it still a bear trap? Like it's already been confirmed. Like, I uploaded a shorts video yesterday, later in the day, explaining why and targets for that. Yes, it's obviously a bear trap when you have something like this going on right here. I think it's easier to see actually on this because we technically did close on a bit of a lower low on the 4 hour. The second that Bitcoin popped back above $45,000, that was a big warning signal, and that's actually when I uploaded that video. Your technical confirmation of it was above 45.8, but in this case, I did feel compelled to front run that at 45. Okay, cool. Jack Estiman says, good morning, Krown. Hey, good morning, man. Ethereum, Bitcoin. Okay, here we go. Short and medium term. Got it. See where this one's at. 4 hour looking good. 4 hour looking good for a little bit of short term up. Back up around 7 million Satoshis. We got the pullback on it that we were looking for. It looks like last time as well. Daily, another higher low right here. Good. I'll look for this one to probably continue on with the rally, man. Look at this. So Jack, what stands out to me is that you see volatility contracting the whole way through as this one essentially just puts in a higher low on the daily. If this thing starts to expand alongside, a move back around 7 million Satoshis, I'd be looking for this one to actually break out. You're probably going to be looking at a move back around your June highs, actually 7.7 million Satoshis. And you already know my thoughts on this one long term. I'm extremely bullish on this one long term. It's like very fucking good chart, man. Pig Bun says you and your girl should start a podcast, sir. Oh my God. Okay, that is getting banned immediately. That is getting banned immediately. Justin Tomiak says, tell Krown people earn about $100 to $130 per day from grinding in the Axie game. That's actually pretty cool to see, man. I was speaking with my good friend Mr. Faraz, and he was kind of selling me on the idea that like in the future, people will literally be able to play and make their real life money in games, like by doing kind of what you're saying, which, for a third world country, like that could be a way out, that could be a way to make your living. Like if you like, what's like the poverty the poverty minimum for the world? I think it's like a couple bucks a day or something, so like if you were to print $100 a day, like that could save people. I mean, it's kind of crazy to think about. That could like actually save people. Then again, they also have to, have the technology in their hands to participate as well. So maybe that's another issue, but it's only going to get cheaper over time, which is good. Mr. ZY says, sir, ZY here. There we go. My fucking man. Amazing bear trap call. Thanks, man. You know, at the end of the day, man, I can't claim moral victory for any sort of a call. They always have a probability or statistic to play out or not. Just felt rather compelled about that one. Followed through, and this morning went long. My man, I'd blow you and Elsa with consent. Nice. I like it, man. I like it. I will retain that as a nice compliment, but we do not need to do the blowing. Michael Ramsey says XRP weekly for my sweet Cindy. We already looked at this one. Weekly, I do think looks pretty damn good there. Or at least good for another retest of the highs of this rally, which was what, like 160 or so. Sorry, 150. I think that was our target earlier this week, and I'd still be sticking with this. Long term though, man, look, the second that this thing closes above about 150 to 152, I'd be looking for this one to go on a bit of a tear. $2 plus after that. That'd look very, very good. You do have a pretty damn good setup here, to be fair. I mean, this is an uptrend. Weekly RSI is nearly back in the bullish control, and after playing out some hidden bullish divergence, nothing really bearish about this thing as long as you're above, especially a buck. I know that people hate XRP, but it ain't the worst right there. It ain't the worst. Stinky Linky, mid and long term. I think we already looked at that one as well, so I think we're good there. But let me know in the comment just below if you did miss it from earlier. But I also recorded it, so I will upload it actually after this video as well. Chad Moss says, tell Krown I love him. I love you too, sir. I salute you, man. Brannon Rees says, can you share the fib on DAG? Let's see. Was Constellation or something? Yeah, Constellation. There we go. Holy shit. Holy shit. Should we do a video on this one? Symbol DAG. Is this one a popular one? Yeah, this one's pretty good. Alrighty, here we go. We have Constellation symbol DAG versus US dollar. This one being requested by our community member Brannon Rees. He wants to look at the fib on DAG. Well, first off, let's just kind of give it a general look overall. Pretty damn good chart right here. Can we maybe come up with a more long-term chart, however? No, we can't, unfortunately. That's, well, that makes things a little bit more difficult. But for right now, you know, this rally is pretty extended and it looks pretty ridiculous to the eye. However, I'm not really getting any signals that this thing's like showing any signals of like long-term slowdown. Now, of course, that does not apply to the short term. Short term, there's going to be ebbs and flows on something like this, obviously. However, daily RSI, you know, we still don't even have bearish divergence right here because it's still just continuing for right now. Hidden bullish divergence back in the bullish control zone, typically a good sign as well. And I like to use BBWP, a volatility indicator, for judging, you know, when are we likely to kind of pull back a bit and maybe put in a bit of a high. This thing is only at 50 percentile right now. So to put that in perspective, the last time that we saw 100 percentile was actually way over here, and that did produce a nice pullback. But right now we're literally half of that, and that is within the look back period as well. So this thing very likely does go on for another move to the upside first before a general pullback. Do we have a nice structure here to be going off of? Somewhat, yes. We could use this area right here, actually. Let's just say in this area. Oh, Jesus Christ. I guess I already have it. Yeah, that one's already smashed all the Fibonacci targets from that particular one. Let's see if we can do a new one and pull it out over here. And yes, we can definitely get a good one from this. So we're right at the 2 spot extension. Typically not a big one. We've already had the consolidation at the 1 spot 414. Okay, so where's the next long-term targets? Again, long-term, we're not talking about today or tomorrow, but probably over the next month or two. Somewhere around about 40 to maybe even 50 cents actually. It's pretty damn good. Weekly RSI still relatively healthy. At some point it will create divergence, but not necessarily just yet. 4 hour time frame is just continuation right here. Nothing even remotely bearish about this chart on the short term, as long as it's holding this higher low at about 27 cents. Below there, I would start to look for greater pullbacks, probably back down to, you know, 23 cents or so. But for right now, man, this is looking like it wants to continue on. We have trend, we have volatility starting to expand right here as well, and we got momentum here as well, which is actually just fresh again back in the bullish control zone. So all time frames are actually kind of in concert with each other. That's the word that I'm looking for right now. In confluence with each other, even better. So I would be looking for general continuation to the upside on this one, and probably a pullback after one of those next major targets gets met. Short-term time frames, however, you're going to see a lot more, you know, ebbs and flows there, but it sounds like you're more long-term minded. So I'll focus this specifically on the long-term. Again, no, I don't really see any major issues with this one, especially as long as you're above that last 4 hour higher low, which is 27 cent and below there. You know, probably do look for a greater pullback, but until that happens, just be looking up on this one. I'm curious what momentum looks like here too, especially on like a daily time frame, just to see where we're at. Okay, monthly's obviously this thing's gonna make new all-time highs in September. Holy shit, that is powerful. Weekly, same shit. Weekly Stokes just freshly crossing up right here too. 1644 is the magical number. Full hour, 27 cent holding it. Daily's a little bit more flippy floppy, but 29.81 cent to keep up the daily momentum to the upside. So I do want to see trend continuation alongside volatility, which we do have on daily right here. Just it needs to continue like today, actually, and then I would be looking for probably new all-time highs into September. Looking pretty damn good right there on the setup. So hopefully that was helpful, and there you go, sir. Nice one, sir. JB, appreciate that, man. No message though. Well. Fucking by the dip. Thanks, brother, from Stinky Licky. My fucking man, brother. My fucking man. Your weekly V game says, do you think Bitcoin will drop back down to 44,000 bucks? Is this a bear's trap? Oh, man. If you're calling it... Oh, dear Lord. Yes, it's look, it's already a fucking bear trap. Yes. Do I think Bitcoin could drop back down to 44,000? It could. I mean, that's around your last daily high or low. Like, what's the probability of that happening? I don't think that's not my first... That's not the first thing I'm looking for right now. Look, if... You'd basically be calling a bull trap on the other side right here, which is possible, yes, but what would you need to see in order for that to be like a relatable thing to be looking for? I mean, even then, 45,000 bucks is going to be the big area here. As long as you're about 45,000 bucks, I don't think there's any talks. Even 46, you know, we could say 46 in this case. See if it's the same thing on spot. Yeah, it's 46. As long as about 46, no, there's no real talks of even of a short-term bull trap here. And again, we're using these terms very loosely. Like realistically, these need to be on greater moves and on higher term timeframes. But I understand what you're saying here, just in the colloquial sense. And you know, I mean, can it still happen? Yes, anything can happen, right? Price action is in some ways random, but is it likely to happen? As long as it's above 46, it was not what I'd be looking at all. Oh, Mr. Tokyo Channel, hey, you have a great weekend as well, man. So yeah, to directly answer your question, I think it's rather unlikely from this current posturing. Not impossible, obviously, and I don't think it's very likely as long as you're especially above 46,000 bucks. It's not even a topic of conversation. You have nothing resembling a bull trap as long as you're above there. Alton Beck and Kevin Vaughn, welcome to the cave, and also Crookface as well. Holy shit, that's awesome, man. Thank you for joining in. Jim Cohan says, can we take a look at Hex? I mean, we've looked at it a million times, but I suspect it's still probably bullish as all fuck. Oh dear Lord. All right, where are we at on the daily? Oh, what do you know? New all-time highs. What do you fucking know? Where is my next targets on this? I think you said 25 cent or so. Have we gotten there just yet? Let's see. How high did we get? Nope, still 19 cent actually. Hold on. Let's get rid of that for right now. Let's see. Okay, we're at the 1.414 now, so we're getting that first pullback to the 17.9 region. We're actually literally there right now. I'd probably be looking for this area as a bit of an area of interest here, and we can actually move up this to our next breakout area. Let's go over to the 4-hour, medium-term timeframes. Can trade back down short-term if it wants to 17 cents, but I don't see anything majorly concerning here as long as you're above 17 cents. So I'd just be looking for short-term sideways and probably up again. Below 17 cents, I would be looking for deeper retracements back down to 14.5 actually. But for right now, man, I don't think that's what's happening here. This just looks like a bit of profit taking after making new all-time highs on a daily closing basis. Daily RSI still relatively healthy here. Daily BBWP expanding. You know, I like what I see here. I think it's generally going to float up still. Weekly, not bearish, you might say. No, it's not bearish, so fair enough. Still pretty damn good on Hex. I suspect it probably does hit 25 cents before a greater pullback in this one. It's still relatively strong. Okay, cool. Jose Palomares says, much love from Atlanta, Georgia. Keep on. Hey, thanks for that, man. Holy shit, Atlanta, Georgia. Fuck yeah, man. I love Atlanta, mostly because my favorite rapper comes from there, and his name is Gucci Mane. He's great. You might even know him. Dan Dea says, thank you for your short video yesterday. Hey, man, no problem. Perfect. Saved my ass. Hey, man, cool. Glad to hear, sir. Glad to hear, man. JB's back at it. Okay, there you go. Now we have a comment here. Good morning and good night from Chicago. Hey, good night to you, man. Way fucking late. Can you convince Caretaker to make his advanced stoke publicly available? It's actually not his, and if it's actually KVDB's. So you'd have to talk to him, and that is his prerogative, obviously. So no, it's first off, it's not Caretaker, and second off, you have to convince the right person, sir. But yeah, there you go. I mean, it's basically just a reverse stoke with a volatility component on top of it. you know, you could probably build one yourself. Actually, the code is out there, of course. Anyways, let's see. Should we wrap this bitch up? Man, my 10:17. There you go. Holy shit, man. Man, my voice is absolutely wrecked right now, so I should probably shut this thing off. We are 2 hours deep into this video right here. Basically, Bitcoin short-term timeframes, as long as about 46, I look at any price action as more or less sideways and up. But realistically, the setup here is for the weekly on CME, which confirms today. Any sort of a weekly closure in this case, I mean, any sort of a weekly closure above 47 is going to look really fucking good. I think 2-day also closes. Nope, does not close. 3-day, no, does not close. Daily, same thing. Any sort of a closure above 47 is going to look very, very good. Not necessarily for the weekend. I don't really have any opinions over the weekend, but early into next week. So that's what I would be waiting for in this case. But we do have daily hidden bullish evidence already confirmed right here, back in the bullish control zone. Volatility is expanding, I believe, on the 12-hour. We did see, yeah, from a very low level, but not quite there just yet. And the daily needs to follow through as well for the actual big move. But we do have a golden cross right here. We did print yet again another higher low on the 12-hour as well. Got some hidden bullish evidence. Same sort of setup there on 12-hour RSI. 4-hour, I'd just generally be looking for a bit of sideways here. As long as Bitcoin doesn't come back down below 46, I look for sideways and up coming into early next week. If Bitcoin were to come back down below 46,000 bucks, I will look for another retest, probably of 45, but that would still just be another higher low. Nothing really bearish as far as I'm concerned about on price action, as long as Bitcoin is closing on CME specifically above about 40, basically 45,000 bucks. If we do start to lose that level, I would look for a deeper retracement, probably back down around about 42 to 42.5, but right now sideways and up, and assuming that we can get those closures, we probably do see 50,000 plus into next week. Again, this is all setups for next week basically. Oh, last one, Alton Beck. God damn it, sir. All right, Doc, short, medium term. Okay. All right, sir. Short term, a little bit of downside, probably back down around 96, 97 cents or so. Daily is continuation. This thing very likely does continue on with the rally, though, more medium to long term at around 12.5 to 13 cents over the next couple weeks there. Weekly is just an uptrend. Weekly hidden bullish evidence looks good, man. Looks good. Probably works its way back up over the next couple weeks there. All right, cool. I think that's going to be it. Cheers to you as well, Mr. Filson. Alrighty, fellas, it's been an absolute pleasure. My voice is absolutely wrecked. I'm gonna be signing off now. I want to wish you the best of the best once again, and hopefully see you very soon. Else is having some nice waves in the background, and please enjoy the outro tunes.
Write it, code it, name it, tweet it, mine it, stack it, live it, dream it, post it, scan it, charge it, send it, do it, and receive it. Trade it, buy it, sell it, store it, run it, list it, first rename it. Crypto logic. Pump it, hack it, lose it, dump it, sell it, ditch it, XR pitch it, copy, paste it, nudge it, test it, build it, try it, bend it, fork it, hype it, pump it, dump it, rinse, repeat, but quick relocate, pause it, list it, send it, burn it, pump it, hack it, quick rename it, take it, lend it, send it, swell it, sell it, click, unquit it, see it, watch it,